Yes.
Okay, perfect. So maybe you can mute all your microphones so we won't hear any other interference from the other side. Good evening. Happy Republic Day. My name is Jason Jose. My full name is Jason Kunnam Cadet. I'm a police officer with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, currently at Richmond Detachment, shift supervisor at the Vancouver International Airport. I've been living in BC for the last 26 years. And I have done some of this type of presentation in the past. You could probably find that on the YouTube, or if you just Google my name, Jason Jose RCMP, you will probably find some of the other useful uh, useful information, the presentations I have done in the past. Please kindly mute your microphone, and we'll have at the end, we're going to have some time. I'm thinking to finish this within 1 hour, sorry, 1 hour. Then at the end, we're probably going to have 15-20 minutes to ask questions. So just save all your questions for the end. So today we're going to go over 9 different topics. The first one, we're going to talk about the basic rights of a Canadian resident or Canadian citizen. We have, under the Canadian Charter, we got lots of rights. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm going to cover that's more relevant and more the police mostly deal with. So as a Canadian citizen, one of the basic right, which is the Section 8 of the Canadian Charter, which says that you are protected against unreasonable search and seizure. What basically means, I'm going to go back and forth between English and Malayalam, which basically means a police officer come to your house, he can only enter the house in case if there is an emergency, or they have a legal authorization from a court, basically saying a warrant, and they want to enter the house, search your house. They're allowed to do that if they have a legal warrant from the judge. Otherwise, they can enter your residence only for an emergency situation. For an example, you call the 911, accidentally call 911, but you hang up your phone, police can still come and take a look. Just make sure everybody's safe in the house. So that is called an exigent circumstance or a emergency situation. Police can come. They don't need your permission to enter your house to take a look because somebody called the 911. So even if you called accidentally, you dialing India, you dialing 0191, now it's became 911. Then you hang up your phone, say, oh, no emergency, but the police is still going to come inside your house and take a look at your house because they want to make sure there is no emergency in the house. That is one of the situation police can enter your house, okay? Now, similar kind of idea when it comes to a traffic stop. If you're stopped on the roadside, the police stop your vehicle, they can take a look at your vehicle. If the police officer is asking something like, can I take a look at your car? That technically means they don't really have a grounds to take a look at the car, but they just wanted to ask your permission. And if you give them a permission, they're going to take a look at it. Otherwise, they have a reasonable ground. For an example, if they arresting you, they can search the car to look for some evidence, look for the weapons, things like that. Otherwise, they need to get a warrant from the judge before they can take a look at your car or enter your residence. That's Section 8 of the Charter, which says unreasonable search and seizure. So it says that fair and reasonable way not to enter the property without warrant unless there's an emergency situation, because everybody has a reasonable expectation of privacy. What that means is if you are on the street, you're walking around, somebody's video recording you, or you're in a shopping mall, you're at the airport, somebody's recording you on the video, you have no reasonable expectation of privacy. That is a public place. Anybody can record anybody. So when you're walking in the public, there is no expectation of privacy. But if you are at your residence, there's an expectation of privacy. If you are in your car, there's an expectation of privacy. So because that's your private area. right? So that is section 8 of the charter. Then we going to discuss the section 9 of the charter. Section 9 of the charter say right not to arbitrarily detain or imprison. So the police cannot detain you. Detain you means basically they're going to ask you to stay. You're not allowed to leave because while they're conducting an investigation. So you're not free to go. You're detained. Okay. So police cannot arbitrarily detain or imprison. So police just cannot, without any cause or a reason, they cannot detain you. നമ്മളിപ്പോ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ നാട്ടില് തോട്ടികൾ നടന്നു പോകുന്ന ആള് വെറുതെ നിർത്തി ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുന്ന പരിപാടി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. അപ്പൊ അതുപോലെ നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ പോലീസ് ഓഫീസേഴ്സിന് ഒരു റീസൺ ഇല്ലാണ്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. മനസ്സിലായോ? അപ്പോ ഇപ്പൊ ഞാനൊരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറയാം. നമ്മളിപ്പോ ഒരു ബാങ്കിൽ ഒരു റോബറി സംഭവിച്ചു നിൽക്കുക. അപ്പൊ നമ്മള് അവിടുന്ന് ഒരു സസ്പെക്റ്റിന്റെ ഒരു ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടി. സസ്പെക്ട് ഇന്ത്യൻ ആണ്, 25 വയസ്സാണ്, ബ്ലാക്ക് ഷർട്ടാണ്, ബ്ലൂ ജീൻസ് ആണ്, അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ പോലീസിന് കിട്ടി. അങ്ങനെ പോലീസ് ഓഫീസർ ഇങ്ങനെ ഡ്രൈവ് ചെയ്ത് പോണ സമയത്ത് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു മാച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരാളെ റോഡിൽ കണ്ടു. അപ്പൊ അയാളെ നിർത്തിയിട്ട് ചോദ്യം ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, കാരണം എന്താ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആ ആള് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞ സസ്പെക്റ്റിന്റെ ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ മാച്ച് ചെയ്യും. മനസ്സിലായോ? അപ്പോ പോലീസിന് റീസണബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ഗ്രൗണ്ട് ഉണ്ട് ആളെ സ്റ്റോപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചെയ്യാൻ. അതിന് പകരം നമ്മള് പാർക്കിലിരുന്ന് ഒരു ലഞ്ച് കഴിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ആളെ വന്ന് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. കാരണം എന്താ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ they have no reason to question because they are arbitrarily detaining you. They don't have any ground. മനസ്സിലായോ? So that is the section 9 of the charter, which say right not to arbitrarily detain or imprison. Next is section 11 of the charter. So നമ്മൾ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ലീഗൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പ്രശ്നത്തിൽ വന്ന് പെട്ടാൽ പോലീസ് ഒരാളെ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തു നിൽക്കുക. അതിപ്പോ ഡ്രിങ്കിങ് ആൻഡ് ഡ്രൈവിംഗ് ആയാലും, അതുപോലെ ക്രിമിനൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും ചാർജുകളായാലും, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ ഡൊമസ്റ്റിക് വയലൻസ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണെങ്കിലും നമ്മളെ പോലീസ് അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ യു ഹാവ് എ റൈറ്റ് ടു സ്പീക്ക് വിത്ത് എ ലോയർ. അതായത് നമ്മൾ പോലീസിനോട് സംസാരിക്കുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ പോലീസ് നമ്മൾ ബേസിക് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കും. നിങ്ങളുടെ പേരെന്താ, അഡ്രസ് എന്താ, ഇവ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ചോദിക്കും. അത് നമ്മൾ പറയണം. അതിന് പുറമെ വേറെ എന്ത് ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിലും, അതായത് ഈ കുറ്റകൃത്യത്തിനോട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ ചോദ്യം ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ, പോലീസ് ചോദ്യം ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുന്നേ നമുക്ക് ഒരു ലോയറായിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു റൈറ്റ് ഉണ്ട്. മനസ്സിലായോ? അതായത് സെക്ഷൻ 11 ഓഫ് ദി ചാർട്ടർ സേസ് റൈറ്റ് ഫോർ കൗൺസിൽ വിത്തൗട്ട് ഡിലേ. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ നമ്മൾ ഒന്നുപെടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവര് പോലീസ് പറയുന്നത് എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ യു ഹാവ് റൈറ്റ് ടു റിറ്റെയിൻ ആൻ കൗൺസിൽ വിത്തൗട്ട് ഡിലേ എന്ന് നമ്മളോട് പറയും. എന്നിട്ട് പറയും യു വാണ്ട് സ്പീക്ക് വിത്ത് എ ലോയർ. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ലോയറിനോട് സംസാരിക്കണമെന്ന് നമ്മളോട് ചോദിക്കും. അപ്പൊ ആ ലോയറിന്റെ നമുക്ക് സംസാരിക്കാനുള്ള അവകാശം അത് ചാർട്ടർ തരുന്നതാണ് നമുക്ക്. അപ്പൊ അത് ഫ്രീ ഓഫ് ചാർജ് ആണ്. നമുക്ക് വേറെ കോസ്റ്റ് ഒന്നുമില്ല അതില്. അത് ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഫ്രീ ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ലോയറെ നമുക്ക് തരും, നമുക്ക് സംസാരിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത് ഒരു ക്രിമിനൽ കേസിൽ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത ഒരു വ്യക്തിയുടെ റൈറ്റ് ആണ് പറയുന്നത്. മനസ്സിലായോ? സോ വിത്തൗട്ട് റീസണബിൾ ഡിലേ. അപ്പൊ അവര് ചാർട്ടർ നമ്മളോട് പറയാണ്, നിന്നെ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തതിന്റെ കാര്യത്തിനാണ്, ഡു യു വാണ്ട് ടു ടോക്ക് ടു എ ലോയർ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എനി ലോയർ, ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ലോയർ ക്യാൻ ബി പ്രൊവൈഡഡ് വിത്തൗട്ട് എനി കോസ്റ്റ്. അപ്പൊ അത് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു റൈറ്റ് ആണ്. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ വന്ന് പെടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ റൈറ്റ് നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുക. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് യുവർ ചാർട്ടർ. അതിന് പുറമെ വേറെ സെക്ഷൻ 14 ഓഫ് ദി ചാർട്ടർ പറയുന്നത് എന്താ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാല്, നമ്മള് ലാംഗ്വേജ് നമുക്കൊരു ഇഷ്യൂ ആണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കൊരു ഇന്റർപ്രറ്ററെ കോടതി നമുക്ക് വെച്ച് തരണം. അപ്പൊ നമുക്കറിയാത്തൊരു ഭാഷയിൽ നമ്മൾ കോടതിയിൽ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന കാര്യം വ്യക്തമായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവണം. അതുപോലെ പോലീസ് ഓഫീസർ നമ്മളോട് പറയുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ വ്യക്തമായിട്ട് നമുക്കൊരു അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡിങ് ഉണ്ടാവണം. അപ്പൊ അതിനു വേണ്ടി ഒരു ഇന്റർപ്രറ്ററെ അവർ അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് തരണം. കോടതിയിൽ കേസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്കൊരു ഇന്റർപ്രറ്ററെ, നമ്മുടെ ഭാഷ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തിനെ അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്ത് നമുക്ക് തരേണ്ടത് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ചാർട്ടർ ഓഫ് റൈറ്റ് ആണ്. അങ്ങനെ ചാർട്ടർ ഓഫ് റൈറ്റ് ഒരുപാടുണ്ട്. ഞാനിപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ മെയിൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള മാത്രം ഞാൻ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള 4-5 ഓഫ് them. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ മെയിൻ ആയിട്ട് ഓർമ്മയിൽ വെക്കേണ്ടത് എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാല്, if you get arrested on an offense, criminal offense, you have a right to retain and instruct counsel without delay. അതായത് ലോയറായിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കാനുള്ള അവകാശം നമുക്കുണ്ട്. പോലീസിനോട് സംസാരിക്കുന്നതിലും മുന്നായിട്ട് ലോയറായിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കാനുള്ള അവകാശം നമുക്കുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അത് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ വന്ന് വിടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ യു യൂസ് ദാറ്റ് യുവർ റൈറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ. പിന്നെ വേറെ ഒന്നും ഓർമ്മയിൽ വെക്കാനുള്ളതെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ദേ കനോട്ട് ആർബിട്രറിലി ഡീറ്റെയിൻ യു. അതായത് നമ്മളെ വെറുതെ വഴിയിൽ പോകുന്ന ഒരാളെ പിടിച്ചു നിർത്തിയിട്ട് അവരെ ഡീറ്റെയിൻ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു അവകാശം പോലീസിന് ഇല്ല, വിത്തൗട്ട് റീസണബിൾ ഗ്രൗണ്ട്. പിന്നെ വേറെ ഒന്നും ഓർമ്മയിൽ വെക്കുന്ന വെച്ചാൽ അൺറീസണബിൾ സെർച്ച്, അതായത് നമ്മുടെ വീടിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ കയറി വന്ന് സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യാനോ അതുപോലെ കാറിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ കയറി നോക്കാനോ വിത്തൗട്ട് റീസണബിൾ ഗ്രൗണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു എക്സെപ്ഷൻ അതിലുള്ളത് മാത്രം എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഇപ്പോൾ 911 വിളിച്ചിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഫോൺ വെക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനത്തെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണെങ്കിൽ പോലീസിന് വീടിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ വന്ന് നോക്കാനുള്ള അവകാശം ഉണ്ട്, അതിനകത്ത് എന്തെങ്കിലും എമർജൻസി ഉണ്ടോ എന്നറിയാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെയായാലും ആക്സിഡൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് 911 വിളിക്കുകയാണ്, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ കുട്ടികൾക്കൊക്കെ ഫോൺ കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്, ചില പണ്ടത്തെ ഉപയോഗമില്ലാത്ത ഫോണുകളിൽ നിന്നൊക്കെ 911 വിളിക്കാം. കണക്ഷൻ ഇല്ലെങ്കിലും സിം ഇല്ലെങ്കിലും നമുക്ക് 911 ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കായിട്ട് ഡയൽ ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ പഴയ ഫോണുകൾ എടുത്ത് കൊച്ചിൻ്റെ കയ്യിൽ കളിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി കൊടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, കുട്ടികളെ ആക്സിഡന്റിൽ 911 വിളിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അപ്പൊ തന്നെ ആ ഫോൺ ഹാങ്ങപ്പ് ചെയ്യാണ്ട് നോക്കുക. അതായത് പോലീസ് നമ്മൾ ഹാങ്ങപ്പ് ചെയ്താലും പോലീസ് തിരിച്ചു വിളിക്കും, എന്നിട്ട് അവർ പിന്നെ വീട്ടിൽ വണ്ടി വരും. അപ്പൊ അത് ഹാങ്ങപ്പ് ചെയ്യാണ്ട് ചോദിക്കുക. നമ്മൾ മിസ്റ്റേക്ക് ആയിട്ട് 911 വിളിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഫോണിൽ അപ്പൊ തന്നെ ഹോൾഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് പോലീസിനോട് പറയുക, അതാണ് സംഭവം, ആക്സിഡന്റായി സംഭവിച്ചാണ്, വേറെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളൊന്നും ഇല്ല എന്ന് പറയാം. എന്നാലും പോലീസ് വന്ന് അത് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ട് കൺഫേം ചെയ്യും. സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഇൻ കേസ് ഓഫ് എൻ ആക്സിഡന്റൽ കോൾ ടു 911. പിന്നെ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഏത് ജൂറിസ്ഡിക്ഷനിൽ നമ്മൾ താമസിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, അതായത് സറി ആയാലും റിച്ച്മണ്ട് ആയാലും ഡെൽറ്റ ആയാലും, അവിടെ എമർജൻസി നമ്പറും നോൺ എമർജൻസി നമ്പറും ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ എമർജൻസി ഫോൺ നമ്പറിൽ വിളിക്കുന്നത് എമർജൻസി ഉള്ളപ്പോൾ മാത്രമാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. എമർജൻസി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പൊ സംഭവിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കാര്യം മാത്രമാണ് എമർജൻസി. ഓക്കെ. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, നമ്മൾ വണ്ടി റോഡിൽ പാർക്ക് ചെയ്തു, എന്നിട്ട് നമ്മൾ രാത്രി പാർക്ക് ചെയ്തു, നേരം പോലത്തെ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ വണ്ടി ആരോ തട്ടി എന്തോ ആക്സിഡന്റ് ആക്കി പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് എൻ എമർജൻസി. ഓക്കെ. ഇത് സംഭവം ഓൾറെഡി സംഭവിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു, ഇനി നമുക്ക് വേറെ ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാനില്ല, അതിൽ ഇൻവെസ്റ്റിഗേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്, പക്ഷെ അത് ഇപ്പൊ സംഭവിച്ച കാര്യമല്ല. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനത്തെ കേസാണ് നമ്മൾ നോൺ എമർജൻസിയിലാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്, എമർജൻസിയിലല്ല. പക്ഷെ നമ്മൾ ഒരു ആക്സിഡന്റ് ആയി നമ്മൾ റോഡിന്റെ നടുവിൽ നിൽക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ദാറ്റ്സ് എൻ എമർജൻസി. സോ യു നീഡ് ടു കോൾ 911. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ എന്തെങ്കിലും മെഡിക്കൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള എന്തെങ്കിലും സംഭവിച്ചു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ സംഭവിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കാര്യം, ഇപ്പോൾ പോലീസ് അവിടെ എത്തേണ്ട കാര്യമാണെങ്കിൽ അത് നമ്മൾ 911 വിളിക്കുക. അതല്ല ഓൾറെഡി സംഭവിച്ച കാര്യമാണെങ്കിൽ, ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഒരു വെക്കേഷന് പോയി തിരിച്ചു വന്നു, നമ്മളിപ്പോ വീടിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ ആരോ വീട് പൊളിച്ച് കടന്നു കുറെ സാധനങ്ങളൊക്കെ കട്ടുകൊണ്ട് പോയി, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് എൻ എമർജൻസി എനിമോർ ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് ഹാപ്പൻഡ്, ദർ ഇസ് നത്തിങ് അർജന്റ്. ഓക്കെ. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനത്തെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ നോൺ എമർജൻസിയാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. പിന്നെ അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വീടിന്റെ അകത്ത് കയറാണ്ട് പുറത്ത് നിന്ന് പോലീസ് വന്ന് അവരകത്ത് പോയി ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്ത് വേറെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളൊന്നും ഇല്ലാന്ന് ബോധ്യപ്പെടുത്തിയതിനു ശേഷം മാത്രം അകത്ത് കയറുക. മനസ്സിലായോ? അപ്പൊ 911ഉം അതുപോലെ എമർജൻസിയും നോൺ എമർജൻസിയിലും വിളിക്കുന്നത് ഇങ്ങനത്തെ അർജന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് മാത്രമാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ കുട്ടികളുടെ കയ്യിൽ പണ്ടത്തെ ഉപയോഗമില്ലാത്ത ഫോണുകളൊക്കെ കൊടുക്കാണ്ട് നോക്കുക, കാരണം അത് ആക്സിഡന്റലായിട്ട് അവർ 911 വിളിക്കും, അങ്ങനെ 911 ആ ലൈൻ അവർ ബിസിയാക്കി മാറ്റും. അതുകൊണ്ട് അത് പരമാവധി ഒഴിവാക്കുക. പിന്നെ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്ത് ബേസിക് റൈറ്റ് ആണ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തത്. പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി, അതായത് കനേഡിയൻ സിറ്റിസൺ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കനേഡിയൻ റെസിഡന്റ് റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റീസ് എന്ന് നമ്മൾ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, ഒന്ന് നമ്മൾ എല്ലാ രാജ്യത്തുള്ള പോലെ അവിടുത്തെ ലോ ഒബേ ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അതായത് ഇപ്പൊ ലോ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മളിവിടെ പല ടൈപ്പ് ഉണ്ട്, 3 സ്ട്രക്ചറാണ് ഇതിന് വരുന്നത്. ഒന്ന് മുനിസിപ്പൽ ലോ ഉണ്ട്, അതായത് മുനിസിപ്പൽ ലോ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ ഡംപിങ്, ആന്റി ഡംപിങ്, അതുപോലെ പാർക്കിങ്, നോയ്സ്, ഇതൊക്കെ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ മുനിസിപ്പൽ ബൈലോസ് ആണ്, ബൈലോസ്. പിന്നെ പ്രൊവിൻഷ്യൽ ലോ ഉണ്ട്, പ്രൊവിൻഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള, അതായത് സിഗ്നൽ ലൈറ്റ്, ഡ്രിങ്കിങ് ആൻഡ് ഡ്രൈവിങ്, അങ്ങനെ പ്രൊവിൻഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഹണ്ടിങ്, അങ്ങനെ പല ടൈപ്പ് പ്രൊവിൻഷ്യൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ലോ ഉണ്ട്. പിന്നെ ഉണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ഫെഡറൽ ലെവലിൽ ക്രിമിനൽ കോഡ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഫിഷറീസ് ആക്ട്, ഇങ്ങനത്തെ പലതും ദി ഫെഡറൽ ലെവലിലുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അത് 3 ലെവലിലായിട്ടുള്ള ഗവൺമെന്റുകളാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. ആ 3 ലെവലിലുള്ള സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ലോസ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി ആസ് എ കനേഡിയൻ റെസിഡന്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കനേഡിയൻ സിറ്റിസൺ എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഒബേ ദി ലോസ് ഓഫ് ദി കൺട്രി. ഓക്കെ. അതിപ്പം ഇവിടെയല്ല, നമ്മൾ ലോകത്തിന്റെ ഏത് ഭാഗത്ത് പോയാലും നമ്മളത് അവിടുത്തെ നിയമങ്ങൾ പാലിക്കണല്ലോ. പിന്നെ എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ ടേക്ക് റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി ഓഫ് വൺ സെൽഫ് ആൻഡ് അതേഴ്സ്. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിൽ താമസിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ സ്വന്തം കാര്യം മാത്രം നോക്കാണ്ട് മറ്റു നമ്മളെ നൈബർഹുഡിലുള്ളതോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ നൈബേഴ്സോ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള എല്ലാവരുടെയും മൊത്തത്തിലുള്ള കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയുടെ ഒരു ബെനിഫിറ്റിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാം. അതായത് ഞാൻ ഉദ്ദേശം ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, ഇപ്പോൾ ചില കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റികൾ, നിങ്ങൾ ഏത് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റികളൊക്കെയാണെന്ന് എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ, പക്ഷെ ചില കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റികളിൽ അവിടെ ഈ നൈബർഹുഡ് വാച്ച് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു പരിപാടി ഉണ്ട്. അതായത് എല്ലാ നൈബേഴ്സും അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും ഒരു ചാറ്റ് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് പോലെ ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലും സസ്പീഷ്യസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആരെങ്കിലും പോവുകയാണെങ്കിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ബ്രേക്ക് ഇൻ എൻട്രി ഉണ്ടാവുകയാണെങ്കിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ആ ഭാഗത്ത് നടക്കുന്ന എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രശ്നങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതൊക്കെ അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും റിപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്ത് എല്ലാവരും അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ഗ്രൂപ്പ് പോലത്തെ പരിപാടി ഉണ്ട്. അതല്ല നമ്മുടെ നൈബേഴ്സ് വീട്ടിലില്ല, വെക്കേഷന് പോയിരിക്കുകയാണ് എന്നൊക്കെ അറിയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവരൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും സഹായം അവർക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർ വീട്ടിൽ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിലോ മൊത്തത്തിൽ അവരുടെ വീടൊന്ന് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിക്ക് വേണ്ട കാര്യങ്ങൾ, പിന്നെ നമ്മൾ റെസ്പോൺസിബിൾ ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യേണ്ട കാര്യങ്ങളും നമ്മൾ ടേക്ക് കെയർ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് ഒരു റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി. പിന്നെ വേറെ ഒരെണ്ണുള്ളതെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ സെർവിങ് ഓൺ എ ജൂറി. അതായത് ഇപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ പുതിയത് വന്ന ആളാണെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ അതിനെപ്പറ്റി ഒരു പരിചയം ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. പക്ഷേ ചില സമയത്ത് കുറച്ച് നാൾ കഴിയുമ്പോൾ, ഒരു 5 വർഷം 10 വർഷമൊക്കെ ചിലപ്പോൾ കഴിയുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ കോടതിയിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു പേപ്പർ വരും. അപ്പോൾ അത് ഇപ്പോൾ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു കേസ് നടക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും. നമ്മളിത് ക്രിമിനൽ കേസിൽ പെട്ട ഒരാളാണെങ്കിൽ ആൾക്ക് 2 ചോയ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. ആൾക്ക് ഒന്നുങ്ങ ജഡ്ജ് ആളുടെ കേസ് കേൾക്കാനായിട്ട് ആൾക്ക് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യാം, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിന് പകരം ജൂറി ആയിട്ട് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. ജൂറി ആയിട്ട് ചൂസ് ചെയ്യാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിലുള്ള കുറച്ച് ആൾക്കാരെ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അവരായിരിക്കും കേസ് കേൾക്കുന്നത്. മനസ്സിലായ? അപ്പൊ അത് ഈ വ്യക്തിക്ക് 2 സെലക്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഒന്നുങ്ങ ജഡ്ജ് മാത്രം കേൾക്കുക, വേറെ ആരും ഇല്ല, പുറത്തുനിന്ന് ആരും ഇല്ല. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ജൂറിനെ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുക. അപ്പൊ ജൂറിനെ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അവരെന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്ന വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കുറച്ച് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിൽ നിന്നുള്ള കുറച്ച് ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഇങ്ങനെ മെയിൽ അയക്കും. എന്നിട്ട് പറയും നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ജൂറി ഡ്യൂട്ടി ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറയും. മനസ്സിലായി? അത് ഓരോരുത്തരുടെ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് നോക്കി അവർക്ക് വേറെ ക്രിമിനൽ റെക്കോർഡോ മറ്റു വല്ല പ്രശ്നങ്ങളും ഇല്ല, അവർ നല്ലൊരു സിറ്റിസനായിട്ട് ജീവിക്കുന്ന ഒരാളാണെങ്കിൽ, എനിക്കൊരു കഴിഞ്ഞ ഒരു വർഷത്തിൽ 4-5 പ്രാവശ്യം എനിക്ക് ജൂറി ഡ്യൂട്ടിക്ക് ആയിട്ട് കള്ളാസ് വന്നു. പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ പോലീസ് ഓഫീസർ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് എനിക്ക് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ജൂറി ഡ്യൂട്ടിക്കുള്ള ഒരു കടലാസ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ നത്തിങ് ടു ബി സ്കെയർഡ്. അതൊരു നമ്മളൊരു റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി ആണ്. അങ്ങനെ അത് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു എംപ്ലോയർ തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള വേജസും എല്ലാം തരണം, നിയമപ്രകാരം അവർ തരണം. അപ്പൊ നമ്മളൊരു ഇപ്പൊ ജഡ്ജ് കേസ് കേൾക്കുന്നതിന് പകരം ജൂറി ഒരു 5, 6, 8 ആളായിട്ടുള്ള ജൂറി ആയിരിക്കും കേസ് കേൾക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അത് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി ആണ്, ഒരു കനേഡിയൻ സിറ്റിസന്റെ ഒരു റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി ആണ്. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ജൂറി നോട്ടീസ് കിട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളത്. പിന്നെ വോട്ടിംഗ് ഇൻ എലക്ഷൻ, അതിപ്പോ നമ്മള് നാട്ടിലായാലും ഇവിടെ ആയാലും നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോ ഉള്ള പൊളിറ്റിക്കൽ പാർട്ടി ആയാലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വേറെ പുതിയത് പറഞ്ഞ പൊളിറ്റിക്കൽ പാർട്ടി ആയാലും നമ്മൾ പോയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ വോട്ട് ചെയ്യാണ്ട് പിന്നെ അവരെ കുറ്റം പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ല. അപ്പോൾ സോ വെൻ യു ഹാവ് ദിസ് ഇസ് യുവർ റൈറ്റ് ടു വോട്ട് ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ്സ് യുവർ റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി. സോ വെൻ യു ഹാവ് ദാറ്റ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി, vote. Okay, that's your responsibility as well. Then also helping others in the community with the volunteer opportunities. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ജീവിക്കുന്ന ആ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിൽ ഒരുപാട് വളണ്ടിയർ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടാവാം. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനത്തെ നമുക്ക് എവിടെ ഒരു സാഹചര്യം കിട്ടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനത്തെ ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ഇപ്പോൾ പോലീസ് സ്റ്റേഷൻ ആണെങ്കിൽ അതിനോട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് ഒരുപാട് വളണ്ടിയർ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റികൾ ഉണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പല സെറ്റിൽമെന്റ് സർവീസുകളും പല ടൈപ്പുള്ള വളണ്ടിയർ ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻ നമ്മുടെ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റികളിലുണ്ട്. അതിൽ പരമാവധി പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നമ്മൾ അങ്ങോട്ട് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിക്ക് വേണ്ടി കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. അതാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി. അപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ഇതൊന്നും കൂടി റീഫ്രൈസ് ചെയ്ത് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, obey the laws, okay, take responsibility for yourself and your neighbors, your community, serving in a jury, like we discussed, voting in an election, then helping the other community members in the community with the volunteer hours. This is your responsibility as a Canadian citizen or a Canadian resident. Okay, next we're going to talk about, my plan is to finish this in 1 hour, but we are at 25 minutes already, so this probably won't happen in 1 hour. So let's move on to the next topic. We're going to talk about the common scams. നമ്മളിവിടെ ഒരു പുതിയത് വന്നൊരു വ്യക്തിയാണെങ്കിലും അതല്ല നമ്മളിവിടെ വർഷങ്ങളായിട്ട് ഇവിടെ താമസിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തിയാണെങ്കിലും, സ്കാം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അതങ്ങനെ പുതിയതായിട്ടുള്ള വന്ന വ്യക്തിയായാലും പഴയതായ എല്ലാവരും എഫക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു ടോപ്പിക്കാണ്. അപ്പോൾ പുതിയത് വന്ന ആൾക്കാരാണെങ്കിൽ കുറച്ച് ഇങ്ങനത്തെ സ്കാമിനെ പറ്റി ഐഡിയ ഇല്ലാത്തത് കൊണ്ടും മൊത്തത്തിൽ ഇവിടുത്തെ സിസ്റ്റത്തിനെ പറ്റി അറിയാത്തത് കൊണ്ടും പെട്ടെന്ന് ഒരു വ്യക്തിയുമായി മാറുന്നു മാത്രം. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് ഇവിടെ ഒരു കോമൺ ആയിട്ടുള്ള സ്കാമുകൾ, നമ്മൾ നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ ഒരു ഇൻവെസ്റ്റിഗേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കുറച്ച് സ്കാമുകളുണ്ട്. അത് ഞാനൊന്ന് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വരികയാണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാലോ ഇത് സ്കാം ആണെന്നുള്ളത്. അതായത് ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് തന്നെ ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എൻ്റെ വർക്ക് ഫോണിൽ തന്നെ പല ഇങ്ങനെ ഓരോ മെസ്സേജുകൾ, റാൻഡം മെസ്സേജുകൾ വരികയാണ്. അതായത് നമുക്ക് യാതൊരു പരിചയമില്ലാത്ത നമ്പറുകളാണ്. അപ്പൊ പറയുക ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ, ഐ യു സ്റ്റിൽ കമ്മിങ് ഫോർ ദി അപ്പോയിന്റ്മെന്റ്, ഓക്കെ, ഇനി അപ്പോയിന്റ്മെന്റിന് എത്തുമെന്നാണ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. നമുക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞൂടത് നമ്മൾ ഈ വ്യക്തിനെ അറിയാമെന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ. നമ്മൾക്കൊരു ഈ നമ്പറായിട്ട് യാതൊരു കോണ്ടാക്റ്റും സേവ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. അപ്പൊ നമ്പർ നോക്കി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ അത് നമ്മളൊന്ന് ഗൂഗിൾ ചെയ്ത് സെർച്ച് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ അത് ചിലപ്പോൾ നൈജീരിയ എന്നാവാം, ചൈനയിൽ നിന്നാവാം, പല ലോകത്തിന്റെ പല ഭാഗത്തു നിന്നുള്ള സ്കാമുകളാണ്. ചിലപ്പോൾ US നമ്പറുകളായിരിക്കാം. അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചിലപ്പോൾ മെസ്സേജ് പറയും ആർ വി സ്റ്റിൽ ഗോയിങ് ഫോർ ഡിന്നർ. നമുക്ക് യാതൊരു പരിചയമില്ലാത്ത ഒരു നമ്പറിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് വെറുതെ ഒരു ടെക്സ്റ്റ് മെസ്സേജ് വരികയാണ്, മനസ്സിലായ. അപ്പോ നമ്മൾ ചില ആൾക്കാരാണെങ്കിൽ ചിലപ്പോൾ റെസ്പോൺസ് ചെയ്യും എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഹൂ ഇസ് ദിസ് അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ റെസ്പോൺസ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അവിടെ നിന്ന് പിന്നെ ഒരു കോൺവെർസേഷൻ ചാറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, പിന്നെ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പൊ അതാണ് നിങ്ങൾ റാൻഡം ആയിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു മെസ്സേജ് അയച്ചിട്ട് നമ്മളെ they just trying to see if you're going to respond, then they're going to start the conversation from there and trying to find a next victim. So if you get a message like that from a number that unknown to you and you never seen it, and if it's not from any local number, if it is from, especially from different states in US, from China or Mexico, wherever, don't respond to it. Don't just ignore, just block. Don't respond to it. I will tell you the reason why you're getting that those type of calls or text messages. I will get there last, but I'm just going to tell you one of the type of scams we see is people sending the random messages and trying to start a conversation with you. Okay, so don't encourage that. Delete, block, and move on. Okay, so that is just the accidental, look like an accidental text message, but that's, they just wanted to confirm few things by sending you that text message. So don't get into that trap. The other one you're going to get is something like a text message with a link saying, oh, we tried to deliver you a parcel, but we couldn't deliver because nobody was at home, or we tried to reach you, or your address written is wrong. Please click on this link to update your address. So anytime you get any type of messages, whether that's in email or in a text message, and it's asking you anytime to click anything, never click any link. Never click any link. Just keep that in mind. Never click any link. Whether that's a text message, email, whatever the case is, it might look exactly like the message you get from the Amazon or getting from the bank, because some of the letters will look like that. Then, but if you look at the full email address, you will see it does not look like a legit. So if you get any type of messages, especially, I mean, I'm talking about this because I'm getting those type of messages saying, oh, we tried to deliver your parcel, we couldn't, your address looks like it's wrong, please click on this link to update your address or phone number. Do not click, do not update anything, just delete it. That's one of the different type of scam, which is called delivery scam. Then very common one, which is a romance scam. So romance scam is usually start with something like you getting a friendship request from somebody, maybe on a Facebook or Instagram. So in one situation, like about 3 weeks ago, I got this friendship request from, it looks like a Malayalee girl. Then I looked at her, she's in New York. So I get a friendship request. So I look at her profile, and that profile shows one common friend here in Vancouver. So I kind of thought, oh, maybe she knows that girl, you know, maybe they are friends. So then I called this the girl who lives in Vancouver and asked her, do you know this girl? Because she sent me a friendship request. So she said, no, I don't know that girl. She sent me a request and I accepted it. See, what happens in this situation is when you get a friendship request from somebody that you don't know on Facebook or Instagram, most likely the male is going to get a female request. That's very common, because the males became a victim from a beautiful looking girl. So if you get a message like that and you see that person got some common friends, don't just accept them because they have a common friends, because the other people, they maybe just accepted the friendship even though they don't know this person, right? Now you're going to accept because, oh, she's friend with A and A is my friend, so maybe A knows B. So don't accept those type of friendship if you don't know this person. Doesn't matter how beautiful they look, because when you start talking with them, chatting with them, you will see what exactly they want. They probably want you to send them money. They want you to invest in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or some kind of fraud like that. And in some cases, this can escalate into this thing can get bigger to the stage they're asking you to send your pictures, and they're going to send the pictures. They're probably going to send the pictures, not their picture. They're probably going to send pictures of someone else, but you might be sending your own pictures. See, so you might end up sending the pictures, maybe compromising pictures, and maybe not very good pictures. You're going to end up sending them, then they're going to start blackmailing you. So you don't want to get into that kind of situation. So, and it's also, sometimes you will see this kind of scam when you are in a dating apps. So you're going to end up meeting people who started chatting, then pretty quickly within next 24 to 48 hours, that will turn into some kind of investment scheme, or it will turn into somebody asking you to send money. You will also see, you probably had that type of experience in the past. You're getting a message from somebody that you know, who you're a friend with. Hey, how's it going? I'm in an emergency. Can you send me money? And I'm like, I haven't even talked to this guy for the last 10 years. Now all of a sudden he asking me for money. So when you get those kind of messages, be very, very careful when you're responding to that. It's the best thing for you to do is contact this person directly on their cell phone or a text and ask them, did you send that message? Because oftentimes their Facebook account or Instagram account has been hacked, and someone else using their account to send you. It will always, somebody is in trouble and they're asking for money. That's what always you end up getting. So if you get a message from somebody who's your friend mostly on a Facebook Messenger asking you to send them money, contact this person directly and check with them if that's the real case. Okay, or look at their Facebook profile. They might have some messages saying my account has been hacked or something like that. So do not send any money to people who randomly send you a message on Facebook and looks like one of your friends. Then we have when we have the rental scams. Rental scams is quite common. When I used to advertise my basement, this goes back about 10 years ago or something. I put my basement for a rental, and I get a email message from a person. He's saying, oh, I'm coming from South Africa, and this is like a 17th of the month or something, and it's like, I'm coming from South Africa, but I'm going to be a little late. I'm only going to come the 15th of next month, but I'm going to send you a deposit in advance. I'm going to send you a deposit. I'm going to send you 1 month money. Then I'm going to send you a little bit extra money. So for an example, my rent is $2,000 and $1,000 deposit, $3,000, but they're going to send you $5,000. Think about that for a second, okay? This is the rental scam we're talking about. Think about that for a second. You try to borrow $100 from your friend, they're not going to give it to you. You ask somebody for $100, you ask somebody, say, maybe $100, you will get it. Ask $1,000 from a friend, you're not going to get $1,000 from your own friend. Now you have somebody who's in South Africa is going to send you $5,000 check in advance. Think about that for a second. Who's going to do that? So how this works is they're going to send you money. They're going to send you a check, but that check is mostly fraudulent and stolen from someone else, okay? You're going to get the check, and they're going to ask you, once you get the check, then everything is going to be really fast. They want everything to be done really quickly. So they want you to go deposit the check right away, and they will say, keep the $3,000, send the $2,000 to my friend. I owe him $2,000, okay? This type of scam will come in many different kind. It's not only as a rental scam, it can also come as a job scam. People say, oh, I have a job for you. You can work from home. You do it few hours, phone call, blah, blah, blah. We're going to send you the check, right? So anytime you have a situation as strangers sending you a check, then they're going to ask you to deposit some money on a different account. Consider that is a scam. I investigated several incidents like that. People are actually taking the money and depositing it in their account, and they're withdrawing money. So some cases, the banks will release certain money. So you deposit 5,000, they will give you like 2,000 back, or you can withdraw minimum amount, 500 or 1,000, whatever. You're going to take that money and you're going to deposit in another person's account. Okay. So that money you deposited, that's gone. Now, a few days after, bank is going to call and say, hey, the check you deposited, that's fraud. Now you owe the bank the money. So if you have any situation, any stranger you're talking to, they're going to send you a check asking you to deposit, then take the money and deposit in someone else's account, consider that as a fraud. And if you really want to do it, wait for a week, 2 weeks until check is processed, confirm with the bank it is legit, everything is good, then you do it. Otherwise, you will end up, I actually end up stopping somebody because one of Malayali friend called me and said, this is the situation and she's on the way to the Western Union to transfer the money. I said, stop, don't do that. You're going to lose that money, right? There's another friend from our community. This person called to say that she was looking for a job online, and a doctor from California coming to Vancouver, and he's going to look after, he hired this girl to look after his children while he's here, babysit, and he's going to send her the money in advance, her salary, and some additional money to buy some children's car seat. Then rest of the money, he asked her to send it to a third person, okay? And this person is going to cash the check, then she's going to Western Union to send the money. That's when I stopped, okay? So I was able to save that person from losing the money. So if you come across that situation, somebody, it mostly happens online or on Facebook, places like that. Anytime somebody's going to send you money as a check and deposit somewhere else, consider that as a fraud, and you're going to end up losing money from your pocket. So don't encourage that. And also the other new thing we're seeing on the Facebook marketplaces, people are asking you to send the deposit. So you have a $200. So lately I've been checking the Facebook quite a bit. So you have a brand new 85-inch TV, which is about $1,500, $2,000 in Facebook. I mean, on Best Buy or Costco. But this person is selling it for $200. Think about that for a second. 85-inch TV, 75-inch TV, selling it for $200, and they want $50 deposit from you. Why do they want a deposit for this $200 TV, right? If it is not you, someone else is going to buy it. So cheap. So why would you send $50 deposit? They ask you for $50 deposit. Sometimes a $30 deposit. They asking you for $30 deposit because if you end up losing $30, you will be careless. You'll be like, whatever, you know, because as soon as you send the money, that person is going to stop communication with you. That account is going to be closed. You're going to end up losing the money. So most of the time you end up losing $30, $50. You don't care because it's only $30. You don't care. But he's collecting from 10 other people, right? So he's getting $300 a day, and he's doing that for a week. Now, then after that, he has a new account. Now he's selling something else. This time he's selling a bike or some other new product they come up with. If you go on a marketplace and you start looking for the things, you will see how cheap some people selling, and they will say something like this. So I looked at it myself. I want to get a patio set. Looking at it, beautiful patio set. It's about $1,500 in a Jisk or a Canadian Tire, and this guy is selling for $300, brand new. And they also say, we will also deliver it to you for $300. You just have to send me $50 deposit. Who actually sell a $1,500 sofa set for $300, and they're going to deliver that item to you? Who will do that? It's what a headache delivering some items. So they just wanted to make this believable, so you will end up sending that 30 or 50 bucks, and you will never see that money again. So the Facebook marketplace, there's lots of scams going on. You used to be, don't send any kind of deposit for anything unless you're willing to lose that money. And if you're doing any kind of sales or trades, anything on the Facebook, because we attend lots of these calls where people decided to sell their expensive stuff, maybe an Apple phone Apple Watch, jewelries, things like that. They wanted to meet up with people and trade these things. What happens, you go with this type of item somewhere, they end up pepper spraying you, or they're going to attack you, or they're going to steal your stuff and go. So, I mean, I work in Richmond, so we have a program in Richmond. We have a safe exchange place at the Richmond detachment. So anybody wants to do any type of marketplace, sales, trade, anything like that, they can go to Richmond detachment front counter. They can do the trade there. They can sell and they can exchange whatever. So that way you are safe. You are meeting with the actual customer who wants to buy, and you're not going to end up becoming a victim. So if you're planning to do those type of sales, I mean, somebody coming to your house is different, but you're going to go meet up with a stranger somewhere in the street corner, somewhere there's no light, or somewhere that's not busy. Choose a place that's busy, like a SkyTrain station, or in front of a city hall, or inside a Starbucks, or somewhere there's a lot more people, there's cameras, there's witnesses. Choose a place where you're going to be safe. Don't try to do this type of things on in the street corner where there's no light, or you're going to meet up with a stranger you don't even know, only met on the Facebook. Verify the phone numbers and check the ID, those type of things, right? Otherwise, you could, I mean, we investigate this type of incidents quite a bit in Richmond, because people selling expensive watches, $5,000 watches, $10,000 purse, they end up getting pepper sprayed and the items stolen. So don't be a victim to those type of things. Think smart and choose a good and right location. Tell them we'll meet in front of the RCMP detachment, or Delta Police, or Vancouver Police. Let's see if they really want to buy it, they're going to meet you there. At least you are safe, you're close to the police station, and you will get the help if you need. So be careful about that. And one of the other scam we often see is, I'm sure you guys probably got that too, you're getting a phone call. It's just a recorded message, oh, your Amazon account has been compromised, and somebody ordered 2 iPhones. And I heard this like a dozen times. Every time I get a phone call, oh yeah, I know it's an Amazon and it is an iPhone, because same recorded message every time, right? So you're getting a phone call like that from the Amazon, and they asking you to they press 1, press 2, whatever. Don't press anything, just hang up, block that number right away. Log on to your Amazon account and take a look. Then a purchase is made, or call the Amazon, check. But don't respond to that the recorded message telling you that your account has been compromised and there's 2 iPhone, 3 iPhones somebody bought from your account. I hear those type of messages all the time. So don't be a victim to an iPhone scam. If you are, then right now it is going to be a tax season. Now, the one of the main scam we had a couple of years ago was the Revenue Canada scam. That is very, very popular one. As soon as you file your tax, you will start getting, I mean, even before sometime, you're getting a text message saying, oh, your tax refund, Revenue Canada send you a tax refund. Click onto this account and deposit into your account. So they basically want you to click and they put in your information, your bank information, so they can hack into it, steal all your money. So if you understand one thing from all this conversation, do not click on any link. That's what it is. Do not click any link. Okay? If you get any type of messages from Amazon, calling from your bank, your card has been compromised, you're getting any type of phone calls from anybody, you just say, thank you, I will take care of it. Then you call back the Amazon from the number that you know, or call the bank, say, you get a call saying that your credit card has been compromised, there has been charges on your credit card. Don't call them or respond to that phone call. Call back, look behind your credit card or debit card, look at that number, call them back on that number, because we know that is the actual legitimate number. Call them back on that number and talk to them and say, hey, I got a phone call, this is the situation. Okay, so do not respond to the phone calls, and don't give out your password, don't give out your date of birth. But if you are calling a bank and they ask you for your date of birth and things like that, which is common, because you know you're calling the bank for sure. But somebody calls you and you don't know who's on the other side, and they say your credit card has been compromised. Now I need to confirm your verification, your identification, your date of birth, your address. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. There's one of the other scam which was very popular a few years ago is arrest warrant. So you're going to get a phone call saying you are immigration. There's a warrant for immigration. I'm calling from Immigration Canada. I'm calling from the RCMP. I'm calling from Vancouver Police. You have an arrest warrant for you. So the police is very unlikely is going to call you and tell you there's an arrest warrant. They're going to come and get you from your home, right? Very certain cases we do that because somebody I dealt with, they're supposed to go to the court. They didn't show up to the court. Now they have a warrant. Maybe we'll call them and say, hey, you have an arrest warrant, go to the court and deal with it. But you're not going to get a warrant. You're not going to get a call. You never had any kind of dealings with the police. You've never been into trouble. You're not going to get a call saying that you have an arrest warrant and you had to send an iTunes card or you had to send a Bitcoin to deal with it. Come on, think about that for a second, because we had a member of our community actually go into the bank to deposit the money when she called me. She believed that she got a warrant, and they were asking questions like, oh, you live in this address? Because probably this could also happen when you ended up throwing away the mails you get, right? Sometimes you get a mail, say, from the bank, okay, you have a credit card offer, or you have your credit limit can be increased, some kind of offer you get from the bank, and you just throw that in the garbage, okay? Someone else went through the garbage. Now they have your phone number, they have your address, they have your name, everything they need is on it, okay? So they know your address, they know your phone number and everything else. So you get a random call from random people, and it seems like they know everything about you. Don't be surprised if you're going to be doing those type of things. So make sure buy a shredder, 20-30 bucks, everything with your name, everything with address, phone number, everything has to be shredded. Do not throw away just in the garbage. Recycle, because someone else is going to go through that. They're going to get that information. They can apply for a credit card. They can do all kind of damage to your credit just by your mistake for one time. You are moving from one place to the another place, change your address with the Canada Post, get all those mail to your new address. If you're going to live it in old address, you're living in a basement, now you moved out, there's no guarantee your old landlord is going to call you and every week to say you have a mail. They're probably just going to throw in the garbage. Next thing you know, someone else got that mail with all your personal information, your SIM card, your credit card, all the information about your kids, everything. They're going to use that information to open another account, right? So it is really important for you to look at your credit report at least once a month to see, is there any new inquiries, is there a new account open, has somebody taken loan in my name? It is free of charge. You can get that credit report for free. So at least you know that there's your identity is not compromised. So what happens in case if your identity is compromised? If somebody, say for an example, you lost your driver's license, what happens? You lost your passport, some kind of ID. You don't know where you lost, someone else might have it. So what are you going to do? It happens quite a bit, especially when you're traveling. So if it is ICBC, call the ICBC and report to them my identification has been lost or stolen, my driver's license. They're going to flag it on their system. So anytime we pull over somebody and that happened to be your name, they're going to take a look and match, is that the actual person, or is that identity fraud, right? You need to contact all your credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, this type of credit unions in Canada. Contact them, report them there's an identification lost or stolen. So they're going to add something called credit alert. So anytime anybody apply for a credit in your name, they're going to call you on your home number or your cell phone to confirm you are the actual person applying for that credit. So if you've ever been a victim of any type of identity fraud, or you ever lost any kind of identification, contact the credit bureau, add the credit alert. So that way they can call and confirm actual person who's applying for this credit is the person who's calling. And cancel with ICBC, cancel with, call Passport Canada, call banks, and do that right away. Okay, so this is some of the common scams we see, but recently, within last 3 months to 6 months, there's a brand new scam. So this is go through in a different cycles. new things comes up, because when people recognize it is a scam, then they have to come up with something new. So the example I was giving you is the Revenue Canada scam that was going on about 3 years ago. Everybody was getting called from, say, I'm calling from Revenue Canada, I'm calling from RCMP, I'm calling from Vancouver Police, and you have an arrest warrant. That was the thing. Everybody was, as a police officer, I was getting a call saying, I have an arrest warrant. I said, okay, no problem. I'll just go. I'll work with police. I'll just go deal with it myself. It's funny, but then there was lots of crackdown on those type of this telephone scams in India and in Canada, and those scam, maybe they changed to something else different, but I don't really hear any more Revenue Canada scam. That's kind of disappeared, looks like, and the arrest warrant and text message for the Revenue Canada deposit, that's kind of gone. Now it is a new one, right? You have a delivery, click on to change the address, or you have yeah. So the new one, brand new one I want to talk to you about is about the bank card. So you're getting a call from it looks like a bank's number and some kind of 1-800 number or something, and like that, oh, your bank card has been compromised. I want you to cut it up, cut it like 3, 4, 8 pieces, put it in an envelope, keep it outside, and we're going to deliver the new one, and we're going to take that and recycle. That is a new scam, just started to show up in a few different places. Now we had few incidents in Richmond, like mostly targeting the seniors, asking them to cut up their cards and put it so that people feel good that, hey, nobody can swipe it. It's already cut up the card, so there seems like it's legit. But what's happening? They want to get that chip and record that information and misuse that information to transfer the money. I saw one new one today on TikTok. Somebody was talking about it. I don't know if it is true or not. This person got a call from Amazon, and they're asking them to telling them similar type of what I discussed. It's there's somebody bought 5, 6 iPhones on your account, and they asked the person to log in and take a look at the Amazon account, and it shows there's 4 or 5 phones. So this person really trusted this, seems like a real deal. Then they asked them, no, in order for you to do that and now fix all this thing, you have to log back in. We're going to send you a link, and we want you to log back in, set up a new password, right? So, and this person felt like a little bit of something is not right about this. I just saw that on the TikTok today. I mean, we haven't heard anything within our Richmond detachment area, anything like this, but I heard this today. There's another TikTok video I saw. There's a Facebook, somebody sold something, or somebody wants to buy something. Somebody was selling something, and they want to send you e-transfer money. So, and they said, I can only pick it up next week, the item, but I can send you money as a deposit. Then, okay, that sounds like a good idea. I'll get a deposit money. So this guy is really wanted to buy this item, and it says that they send him, they got some message saying that okay, money has been deposited in your account. To confirm the deposit, click, remember what I discussed before, click on the link. So anytime you're clicking on the link, you are giving out your information from everything in your phone, anything you entering in that on that site is being recorded. So you want it to be extremely careful when you're going to be clicking any link anybody send it to anywhere. Like a long time ago, like I'm talking about 10, 15 years ago, one of the big scam was the lottery scam. So if you look at usually used to go to I used to use a Hotmail, so they used to go to junk mail. If you look at the junk mail, it says something like you won a lottery for $5 million. And it is from Nigeria, that part of the Africa this is coming from, and they want to give you that money. Or some rich person passed away and they have $15 million and they found you as a person, they wanted to give it to you, those type of things. So think about what I said. You can't even get $100 from your friend. So there's no stranger from Nigeria want to send you $5 million that they don't even know. So anytime you think it smells like a scam, it is a scam, right? So number one rule, do not click on any link. You get a message from random people. How are you? How is your work? Are you coming for the appointment today? Are we going out for dinner tomorrow? This type of thing. Take a look at the number. If it says 647-687-453, you know this is not a people that you know. Don't encourage any conversation. Don't text back. Don't get into any kind of conversation. You're going to end up losing everything. Okay. So stay away and stay protected from this type of scam. Now, you're probably wondering how they end up getting your number, or how you became a. So let me just talk about quickly how you can be not to be a victim from this type of scam. So if you get this type of messages, if like we say here, like in Canada, like if it is too good to be true, like somebody's offering something which is not even par with the market value. For an example, $2,000 TV for $200, which is 85-inch. They're offering the best, and $1,500 worth of furniture for $100. If it is too good to be true, be very, very skeptical, because it could be a scam. And avoid clicking on any unverified links. Okay. Add to the multi-factor authentication factor. So you have a bank account, for example, you add the multi-factor authentication. So as soon as anybody withdraw money, any transaction, you're going to get a text message, or anytime you're trying to log in, they're going to send you a message to your own personal phone to enter the number, confirm the purchase, those type of things. Multi-factor authentication, that is going to help you when you can stop immediately when it happens. For an example, you're traveling, you end up losing your credit card, you forgot it in a merchant or something. As soon as shopping, first transaction happen, you get a notification, you know there's a fraud happened, so you can take steps to prevent it. So add the multi-factor authentication. Recognize the emotional manipulation. That's basically one thing I did not discuss with you, that is not really relevant to the younger people, but it's mostly been happening within the older senior people. Somebody will call you and say, it's unlikely our community is going to be victim of this, but I'm still going to, for your knowledge only, I'm going to tell you, like you're going to get a call saying that, hey, this is your grandson, or like it's mostly within the Canadian Caucasian community, where the parents, grandparents doesn't have a daily contact. They don't really live together. They're living in a different city, different town, so they don't really talk. They may be living alone. You get a call saying that, hey, this is your grandson, Kumar, calling, and I got in a trouble. I was drinking and driving, got in an accident. Now I'm in the jail. I need to pay some money to get me out of this, right? So older people, they don't even recognize the voice, or they may be recognized, or they mistakenly recognize, they think that is their grandson, whatever, they end up sending the money. So we have several investigations like that. We are doing that in Richmond now, because the people decided to send the money without knowing, just assume that that is their family member or grandson, or somebody's calling. So unlikely our community is going to be victim of that, because mostly our parents, grandparents, they all live together, and we have a constant contact with them, so that might not happen. But this is something which is going around, which I won't consider that as one of the top scam you will be getting into. Most likely you're going to get this text messages or the link to click or something like that. But when I came here first 26 years ago, I was a victim of a scam. So I'm looking for the job, and I see it on that time, 26 years ago, there used to be something called a newspaper. We probably don't see that anymore. So in the newspaper, the job column, I was looking at it, and it's saying airport jobs, apply now. I'm like, wow, amazing. When you are working at the airport, you think it's something, we always wanted to work at the airport, something exciting and good place to work. So I'm like, oh, amazing, this is what I want to do. So they like, we're just going to send you an application form, $50, we need the credit card. I'm like, $50, no problem, to work at the airport. So I paid with $50. I waited for a year, the forms never came, job never came. See, so simple as that. But then I thought, it's only $50, right? But for them, they scamming 10 people a day, they're making $500. You as a victim, for you, you only lost $50, so you don't really care. It's $50 or $30, no big deal. So you might end up becoming a victim of something like that. So you wanted to be careful giving out your credit card or any type of scam, asking anybody, people asking for money to send you an application form, you know that's a bullshit, right? So before accepting friends on Facebook, just be aware of the risk. Just like I said, people that you don't know, and you might see a common friends, but that common friend probably doesn't even know this person. They probably just accepted because that profile looks really good, pretty girl, pretty guy. So you don't want to accept the friends, accept the people that you don't know, because you're going to now start the conversation. They can see, for an example, now you're going to post, you accepting a stranger as your friend. Now you're going to post, oh, you're going to post your birthday, you're going to post your travel plans, see you guys in a week, off to Mexico, whatever that is. Now you're going to take a picture in front of your house, everybody together. It's not very hard to find your house and where you live and where you are. They know where you are because you have several pictures. I'm guilty of that as well. I do that quite often too. You take a picture in front of your house with the address and everything else. You don't need to write you live in 120th Street or you live in 15th Avenue. You put in that, you start typing that first numbers of your house. It's populate all the addresses from, you started typing 11411, it will show you number 3 road. Then there's one house, there's one in Burnaby, one in Surrey, one in Richmond. And next thing you know, you have it on your Facebook profile. Your location is in Surrey. Now you have an address 1156 or 1142. They know where you live. Now the next posting is off to Mexico, see you in a week. They know you're not home. They know where you live, right? You know what happens next. So just be careful when you do those type of things. Putting your date of birth on the on your Facebook, date of birth, not like a happy birthday. I'm talking about some people, when you go into their profile, you see all their information, their date of birth, and schools and universities. I have that too. Not the date of birth, but the university I went and things like that. But you wanted to be careful of how much information is out there, right? It will be a good idea once to go into Google and type your own name to see how much information comes up. All the places, like for an example, I Googled my name once and it shows 20 years ago I did a sun run, and that information is there. And I was working with Corrections BC. That information is there from 20 years ago. I did a sun run with my score, right? And it comes up with your kids, sometimes your school and their graduation, or their those type of things comes up with your last names, so they know where your kids go to school. So you wanted to be very careful with how much information you're putting out there on the net, especially on the Facebook. Like you wanted to minimize the exposure, so you're not going to be a victim. And when it's already past 8 o'clock. I am not even finished to subject yet. Looks like we're going to go a little bit over. Sorry, guys. That's the reason. It's sometimes when you start talking, it's keep going. There's something else pop up in my head. So, so just, okay, I'm going to skip some of these things. So before accepting the friends on Facebook, just be aware, you know these people. And if you don't know, maybe try to stay away from it. And I'll tell you quickly, how do you become a victim of this type of scam, right? So it is possible you filled out some kind of promotional thing somewhere. You went to a mall or you went to somewhere else, you saw something online, you have some special offer, something like that, you filled out your information, your address, phone number, everything. There's lots of security breaches happened historically, LifeLab BC, London Drugs, MSP Canada. So there's so many MSP BC, so many agencies, there a security breach happens. So anytime you have your phone numbers, address, everything is all information is being gone to the hackers, right? So sometimes that's how they end up getting this. Now I'll tell you the step by process how they do that. So the hackers will get your information, your address, phone number, and things like that. Then they will sell that to the highest bidder. Okay. Before they do that, they wanted to verify the phone numbers, because that's where all the scam happens. So they call you. they call you, the only thing they want is to check if that phone number is active line. So you get a call from somewhere, some unknown number, you say hello, they hang up. So by now they know that is a verified number. So all the numbers they collected, now they're going to separate the numbers which is they verify, they confirm to be true. Now they sell that to the highest bidder. See how that goes? First they get all the data, then they have a group of people sitting there to confirm that numbers are correct numbers, because sometimes people registered the number 15 years ago that canceled and everything else. So they can sell the raw data as it is with your phone number and address without verifying for a lower price, or they can sell, bid in the black market with the verified phone numbers confirmed to the actual working numbers. So anytime you call, you respond, is it Jason? They hang up, or is it whatever your name? They hang up, they confirm. Two type of confirmation. One, they confirm the phone number. So they call, you answer, confirm, number is good. Next person call, next time you get a call, they will be asking your name. Is it this person? Yes. Now the person matches with the phone number, sell it to a different bidder. Okay, so so this is how your phone number became a victim. That's how you're getting this random phone calls and things like that, because your data, some data breach happens somewhere else. You end up your information has been leaked online, and that information is being sold on the black market. Now that is being used by the criminals. Okay, so this is quickly about the scams. 10 after 8. So we're going to do, I think by 8:30, I'm going to stop. If the things which I did not cover, I apologize. We might have to make it in a different session because I'm working early morning tomorrow. We're going to quickly get into Landlords and Tenancy Act. So doesn't matter you've been living here for 50 years or you just came last week, you are in two different situations. Whether you are a tenant or you are a landlord. You own a house or you're renting someone else, okay? Either case, you could have problems. As a landlord, you can have a problem with the tenant. As a tenant, you can have a problem with the landlord. So very first thing you want to do is make a tenancy agreement, okay? Standard forms are available online, tenancy branch, landlords and tenancy branch website. You just simply Google landlords and tenancy branch website, landlords and tenancy branch form. You'll get a standard government form. Fill out everything, conditions, rent, what's covered, utility, laundry, parking, whatever is covered, month-to-month contract, yearly contract. That way it's protect you as a tenant, it's to protect you as a landlord. In case of dispute, you have something to hold on to and say, this is our agreement. Now you're breaching your agreement, so you need to leave. Or the other way to the landlord, hey, as per the agreement, you're supposed to give me this, 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 you're not giving. Now you have something to hold on to and show when there's a dispute happens. But if you don't have anything to show, it is only verbal, there is no documentation. Nobody's going to believe other person's word. You're going to pay the rent, make it legal, give it a check, send it by e-transfer. You have something to go back and verify in case the landlord say he didn't pay 3 months rent. Now you say, I give him cash. Now you have no record of nothing. Send it by e-transfer, give it a check, or ask them to give you a receipt for it. It's a standard thing to do. So nothing wrong in asking. They can do that for you. So first is the tenancy agreement. Second, the damage deposit. Damage deposit, the landlords can only ask you for damage deposit half a month of rent. Okay, they cannot ask you for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. Half a month of the rent. When you're living within 20 days, they have to return that deposit to you. Okay, unless you give them an authorization to keep that deposit. If you told them, hey, you can keep that deposit because whatever the damages we did, you can keep it. That way, no problem. Otherwise, within 20 days, the landlord has to return that money to you with an interest. Okay, they cannot arbitrarily keep your deposit because, oh, I think there's a scratch on the wall. So the one thing you wanted to do yourself as a tenant, as a landlord, to protect yourself is when you have a new tenant, you wanted to do an inspection with as a landlord, you want to do inspection with tenant, you want to do inspection with your landlord. You're moving into a new place, you want to go every single room and you want to document everything. Say, okay, kitchen, there's a broken window, or the stove doesn't work, or the door has a crack, whatever it is, you wanted to document everything on your tenancy agreement, because you don't have that, and the end of the year you're going to want to move out. Now the landlord say there's a damage here and you have to pay for it, or there's some kind of dispute, you don't have anything to prove that there was a damage or there wasn't a damage. So it is a excellent idea to take a, it's better you take a picture when you're moving in, or at least document on your tenancy agreement there's a damage, there's a scratch, there's a broken window. So when you're moving, there's no problem, they're not going to keep your deposit, right? In case if they keep your deposit, they didn't pay your deposit, you go to landlords and tenancy branch and submit an application for return of the money. And after 20 days, they technically has to pay you double the deposit. So as a tenant, you have a right to get that money back, but there's a dispute processing process to get that. Quickly over to the eviction part. If you are not paying your rent, say you're in disagreement with your landlord, he didn't fix the broken window or your closet, whatever, you cannot stop paying the rent, okay? That is there is a different dispute process. Everything has to be in writing, giving notice back and forth. But you cannot stop, okay, you didn't fix my cabinet, I'm not going to pay the rent. If you don't pay the rent, you can get a notice 10 days to move out. Within 10 days, you have to leave, okay? If you are breaking a contract, say non-smoking room, or you can have a 5 guest or something like that, and you breaking a contract, 30 days notice to vacate the premises. 3 months notice in case of brand new person bought the house you were staying, now your landlord is moving out, you need to get a 3 months notice for you to move out. They cannot give you 30 days. That's not a standard. It's a minimum is 3 months. If they wanted to demolish, they want to change everything, they want to add on some whatever kind of demolition, it's a 4-month notice. So it's good for you as a tenant to know what is required as per the law, what kind of notice you're supposed to get. If you are not paying the rent, or they say my family wants to move in, there is a specific restriction on the landlords and tenancy branch. If you are a tenant and landlord say my family wants to move in, there is a particular it is detailed, like who is considered as a family. It's not the grandmother, sisters, brother, son, right? It is immediate family. They talk about maybe mother or brother or sister or brother-in-law or something like that. It's immediate family. It's not like someone else. And if they say you have to move out because we're going to rent it to immediate family, but then they did not rent it out to the immediate family, instead they put it on the marketplace for higher rent, you can challenge that. I know an example that happened to one of my family member, and she got 1 year of rent from the landlord. The landlord has to pay back 1 year of rent to her because this person bought the place where she was staying. Then they kicked her out, said my family is going to move in. Then they put it on the Facebook for higher rent, and she sent a friend to confirm they are renting it to another person, and she filed a petition. She got 1 year rent back. So as a landlord, you wanted to be careful if you're planning to do that. As a tenant, you should know that you're right. If that's something like that happened, you might be eligible for some compensation, but you had to go through landlords and tenancy branch. Quickly about the okay, so that's pretty much about the landlords and tenancy branch. You should you have any questions about this, any type of landlords and tenancy issue, go to Landlords and Tenancy Act BC. It has all the sections. It will tell you landlord has to change the lock and the deposit, pet deposit, and what type of notices they have to give, and everything you need to know is there. There's an email, there's phone number, you can contact them for advice, you can file the dispute, all the forms available. Take a look and just educate yourself in case if you, I mean, you could be in one of the situations, whether you are a tenant or you are a landlord, or unless you're staying with parents, that's different. So it will be good for you to know what your rights are and what kind of trouble you can get in. Now we're just going to move on to the police. If you have to deal with a police officer on the roadside. So if you're the driver of a motor vehicle, as per the provisions of the Motor Vehicle Act, if you hear light or siren behind you, regardless of the factor, you believe that police car is not coming for you or not, doesn't really matter. I think I said I will talk in Malayalam a little bit, forgot. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ വണ്ടി ഓടിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് പോണ സമയത്ത് say you hear the light or siren behind you. Your job as a driver of a motor vehicle is to pull over to your right immediately. Okay, നമ്മളെ light or siren പിന്നിൽ കേട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ the first thing you have to do is pull over. Okay, but obviously the safety is a factor. You don't want to pull over on the top of the bridge. You don't want to pull over in the curve. So the safety is important, but first thing you have to do, you need to give an indication to the police officer you're going to pull over. Okay, so how do you do that? You turn on the signal, you slow down your speed, so the police officer knows, okay, this person is going to pull over. Maybe he's going to pull over where there is a safer place to pull over, but at least he's slowing down. He had a signal on, so as a police officer, I know he's going to pull over. But instead, the light and siren behind you kept driving, thinking, oh, it's not safe. Now the police officer is going to think, okay, this person is going to pull over. He's probably going to run from me. Now I'm going to ask for more help. So you don't want to get into that situation. You see light and siren, fire, police, or ambulance, it is the law that you pull over to your right immediately. Okay, the police officer coming for you, they're going to come and stop behind you. But if you keep driving thinking, okay, he's not coming for me, I don't know if he's coming for me, I don't know if I should stop. Your job is to pull over. Doesn't matter they're coming for you or for someone else. If they're not coming for you, they're going to pass you, they're going to go deal with the other person. But if you don't pull over, you get a ticket, you might get a license suspended, vehicle towed, all kind of different situations. So first thing you do is pull over to your right. Okay, you are on a highway, don't stay on the left lane. That is the fast lane. That can piss off people really badly. That can make people really angry. You might see the people speeding. The speed limit is 80 or 90. You will see people going 100, 120. Or you might argue, say, hey, I'm going on left, but I'm going within the speed limit. It doesn't matter. You must move on to the right unless you're passing. That's the law. The law says unless you're passing a vehicle, you must move on to the right side. So do not stay on the left side on Highway 91 or 91 saying that I'm going within the speed limit. There's someone else who want to go faster than you are, let them go, but don't let them come behind you to tailgate you. Move over to the right, let the other people go, you mind your own business, let the police take care of the rest. Okay, that will make your life so easier. Don't be on the left line just blocking all the traffic, pissing everybody off. They're going to overtake you, come back and cut in front of you, and it just create a unwanted scene. So what happens if you're involved in an accident? What are you supposed to do? Provide the reasonable assistance. At the scene of accident, you have to exchange the information, which is your driver's license number, your name. You don't need to provide your address. Okay, they don't need your address. You don't need to give your telephone number, but you must provide your driver's license. You must provide the license plate and your name, because they need to process a claim. So you want to give your driver's license, and you are a little scared if you wanted to give that, just cover your address. Okay, this is my name, this is my driver's license number. So you don't want to give out your all personal information, your address and everything else to a stranger if you're not comfortable. But you must provide your driver's license number, your name, license plate of the vehicle. Okay, that is the law, and you must exchange. So you pull over, provide the assistance. Call assistance means you can't really say it's a serious accident, somebody's bleeding, but you're not a person who can deal with the blood. Call 911. Put their emergency flashes on, put a cone behind it, or direct the traffic safely to move over, something like that. Give some kind of assistance. Call the police, provide the license plate number, tell the situation, you need an ambulance, fire, whatever the situation. So provide the reasonable assistance, then exchange the information. So you have to get the information of the other driver's license number, license plate number. There may be a situation that the other driver doesn't have a driver's license. Call the police. Minor accidents, police is not going to show up because they have lots of other things to do. You just hit the bumper of the other car. Just move over, exchange the information, go home. call the ICBC, because the police doesn't have a time, because they did not see what happened. They're only going to write what you said and she said, and they put that license plate on the file. That's all they're going to do. So now don't block all the traffic, just move over to the side, move to the corner, exchange the information, call the ICBC. Possible, get all the witnesses' information. That's very important. Get the witnesses' information, because drivers might change the stories later, right? So you want to get the witnesses' information if you can. Call the ICBC, report the incident within 24 hours. Don't block the traffic if it is a minor accident. But if it is, you can drive the car and the vehicle is damaged, there's some injuries, the other driver doesn't have a driver's license, any type of, or the other driver look like drunk, under the influence of alcohol, young driver, those type of situation, call the police, let them come and deal with it. Can you give me 1 second, please? That's the reason we can't really. Okay. I'm sorry, I apologize. So the plan was to finish within 1 hour, and we still got several topics to discuss. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this as another session. I'm just going to finish here with this accident situation. So like I said, contact the police if the situation requires police assistance, some kind of drinking and driving or serious offense, injuries, anything like that. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is I have a bunch of other things to discuss, but we're out of time. So if you guys have any questions specific to the topic we discussed, now you guys can ask one at a time. Just unmute and ask the questions. മലയാളത്തിലായാലും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം കേട്ടോ.
ഹായ്.
ഓക്കെ, വാട്ട്സ് യുവർ നെയിം? ആൻ.
എന്റെ പേര് ആൻ എന്നാണ്.
ഓക്കെ.
ഞങ്ങൾ ജനുവരിയിൽ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ആയിട്ട് വന്നേക്കണേണ്.
ഓക്കെ.
അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ പ്രിന്റ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾ കോൺട്രാക്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ മന്ത്ലി കോൺട്രാക്ട് ആണ്.
ഓക്കെ.
അപ്പൊ എന്തെങ്കിലും പേപ്പേഴ്സ് അങ്ങനെ ഇത് ചെയ്യണോ, ആവശ്യമുണ്ടോ?
പക്ഷേ ഇപ്പോ ഞാൻ ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ്സ് ഇപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എല്ലാവരും കേട്ടല്ലോ, ഒരു മന്ത്ലി അഗ്രിമെന്റ് ആണ് അത്. അപ്പൊ കോൺട്രാക്ട് ആയിട്ട് ഒന്നും ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല അല്ലേ?
ഇല്ല.
ഓക്കെ. പക്ഷേ ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് ടെനൻസി അഗ്രിമെന്റിനെ പറ്റി ഞാൻ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തല്ലോ. അപ്പൊ അത് ശരിക്കും അത് ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് ടെനൻസി ബ്രാഞ്ചിന്റെ അണ്ടറിൽ വരുന്ന സിറ്റുവേഷൻ എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ, നമ്മളൊരു ബേസ്മെന്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഇൻഡിവിജ്വൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സെപ്പറേറ്റ് സ്വീറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് റെന്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴാണ് അവരുടെ ഒരു അണ്ടറിൽ വരുന്നത്. അതായത് നമ്മളിപ്പോ ഒരു ബേസ്മെന്റ് റെന്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അവർ 3-4 ആൾ ഒന്നിച്ച് താമസിക്കുകയാണ്, ഷെയർഡ് കിച്ചൺ ആണ്, ഷെയർഡ് ബാത്റൂമാണ്, അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണെങ്കിൽ ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് ടെനൻസി ബ്രാഞ്ചിന്റെ റൂൾസ് അപ്ലിക്കബിൾ അല്ല. അതൊരു ഷെയർഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ലിവിങ് അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ദി പീപ്പിൾ ലിവിങ് ദർ. മനസ്സിലായോ? നമ്മളൊരു ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റും, ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ് ഒരു ടെനന്റിന് റെന്റ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്തു, ആ ടെനന്റ് പിന്നെ അവിടെ 3-4 ഫ്രണ്ട്സിനെ വെച്ചു, അവര് തമ്മിലൊരു മ്യൂച്വൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള അഗ്രിമെന്റ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് ടെനൻസി ബ്രാഞ്ചിന്റെ റൂൾസ് അപ്ലിക്കബിൾ അല്ല. അപ്പൊ അതാണോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ? അതോ അത്
അതിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ എന്റെ ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ് വന്നപ്പോ അതിൽ മിസ് ആവട്ടെ. ഇപ്പൊ ഞാനൊരു വ്യക്തിയായിട്ടാണ് റൂം ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് എടുക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ബാത്റൂം ഞാനും ആ ഫ്രണ്ടായിട്ടാണ് ഷെയറിങ് വന്നത്.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പോ ഇപ്പൊ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എന്താ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, ഒരു ടെനൻസി അഗ്രിമെന്റ് വേണോ എന്നാണ് ചോദിക്കണേ? അതെ. അതിപ്പോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇപ്പോ ഒറ്റൊരു ബെഡ്റൂം മാത്രമാണ് ഉള്ളത്? നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു ബേസ്മെന്റ് പോലത്തെ ഒരു കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ഏരിയ കിച്ചണും ബാത്റൂമും ഒക്കെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുണ്ടോ?
അല്ല, ഒരു ബെഡ്റൂം ഒരു ബാത്റൂം. പക്ഷെ ബാത്റൂം ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് മാത്രമാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത്. പക്ഷെ ഇപ്പൊ അതൊരു പബ്ലിക് ബാത്റൂം പോലെയാണ്, ഇവിടെ വന്ന ഗസ്റ്റുകളൊക്കെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പൊ അത് ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഇതൊരു ഷെയർഡ് അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ് ആണ് വരുന്നത്. ഇത് നമ്മളൊരു സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ടെനൻസി ബ്രാഞ്ചിന്റെ ഒരു അണ്ടറിൽ വരുന്ന ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ അല്ലത്. ടെനൻസി ബ്രാഞ്ചിന്റെ ആ റൂളുകൾ അപ്ലിക്കബിൾ ആണെങ്കിൽ അത് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ബേസ്മെന്റ്, ഒരു സ്യൂട്ടോ പോലത്തെ ഒരു അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ് ആണ്. നമുക്ക് സെപ്പറേറ്റ് എൻട്രൻസ്, സെപ്പറേറ്റ് കിച്ചൺ, സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ബാത്റൂം, നമ്മൾ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അറേഞ്ച്മെന്റ് ആണെങ്കിൽ മാത്രമാണ് ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് ടെനൻസി ബ്രാഞ്ചിന്റെ റൂൾസ് അപ്ലിക്കബിൾ ആവുള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് ടെനൻസി എഗ്രിമെന്റ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും ഇല്ലെങ്കിലും അവരെ നമുക്ക് ഹെൽപ്പിന് വേണ്ടി അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല.
ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.
ഓക്കെ, എനിവൺ എൽസ്? മലയാളത്തിൽ ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കാട്ടോ. അജി.
നമ്മൾ ഈ സെൽഫ് ഡിഫെൻസ് ഇൻ എനി സിറ്റുവേഷൻ അതൊരു ടു വാട്ട് എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് വി ക്യാൻ റെസ്പോണ്ട് ടു ലൈക്ക് ഒരു ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വരുമ്പോൾ ഒന്ന് ബ്രീഫ്ലി പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? നൈറ്റിലൊക്കെ ജോലി കഴിഞ്ഞ് വരുമ്പോഴത്തേനും.
അതായത് സെൽഫ് ഡിഫെൻസ്, അതാണ് ആളുടെ ചോദ്യം. സെൽഫ് ഡിഫെൻസിനെ പറ്റിയാണ്. നമുക്ക് ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് സെൽഫ് ഡിഫെൻസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും എന്നുള്ളതാണ് നമ്മളോട് ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അത് നമ്മൾ ഹിസ്റ്റോറിക്കലി പല കേസുകളും, കാനഡയിൽ ഉണ്ടായ പല കേസുകളും, അതായത് ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു 5-8 വർഷം മുന്നേ ഒരു ടൊറാൻഡോയിലുള്ള ഒരു ഷോപ്പ് കീപ്പർ, അവിടെ ഒരുത്തൻ സ്ഥിരമായിട്ട് വന്നിട്ട് കട്ടുകൊണ്ട് പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇയാളെ കൊണ്ട് ശല്യമായി. സെയിം ആളെ എപ്പോഴും വന്ന് കട്ടുകൊണ്ട് പോകും. ഒരു ദിവസം ആള് വന്നപ്പോ ആളെ ഈ കടക്കാരന് വന്ന് 2 ആൾ കൂടി കെട്ടിയിട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോ കടക്കാരനെ ചാർജ് ചെയ്തു. മനസ്സിലായോ? അതൊരു വലിയൊരു സംഭവമായി മാറി. അപ്പൊ അതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ കേസ് ലോ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. കേസ് ലോ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഒരു കേസ് കോടതിയിൽ പോയിട്ട് ആ കേസിനെ പറ്റി ഒരു വിസ്താരത്തിന് ശേഷം അതിൽ നിന്ന് തന്നെ ഒരു പുതിയൊരു ലോ അതിൽ നിന്ന് വരും. അതായത് ആ സംഭവത്തോടനുബന്ധിച്ച് പുതിയൊരു ലോ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാണ്. കാരണം ഇപ്പോഴുള്ള ലോയില് ചെറിയൊരു മാറ്റം വരുത്തണം. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു മാറ്റം വരുത്തണ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ഈ കേസിൽ നിന്ന് വന്നു. അപ്പൊ അത് ഈ കറക്റ്റ് ആ കേസിൽ എനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മയില്ല, പക്ഷെ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായി. അപ്പോ ഇപ്പൊ ഞാനായ ഒരു പോലീസ് ഓഫീസർ എന്ന നിലയ്ക്ക്, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പോലീസ് ഓഫീസർ അല്ലാത്തൊരു വ്യക്തി ഒരു ഫോഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വന്നു. നമ്മളിപ്പോ സെൽഫ് പ്രൊട്ടക്ഷൻ ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ഫോഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിക്കേണ്ട ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വന്നു. നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഫോഴ്സ്, അതിപ്പോ ഞാനായാലും പോലീസ് ഓഫീസർ ആയാലും അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ സാധാരണ ഒരു വ്യക്തി ആയാലും ഫോഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വരുമ്പോൾ കോടതി നോക്കണമെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിച്ച ഫോഴ്സ് റീസണബിൾ ഫോഴ്സ് ആണെന്ന് നമ്മൾ നോക്കണം. റീസണബിൾ ഫോഴ്സ് ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ദി സർക്കംസ്റ്റാൻസസ്. മനസ്സിലായോ? നമ്മളിപ്പോ റോട്ടിൽ നടന്നു പോണ ഒരാള് നമ്മളെ, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, നമ്മൾ റോട്ടിൽ നടന്നു പോണ സമയത്ത് ഒരാൾ നമ്മളെ തെറി വിളിച്ചു. അപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന, ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിൽ ഒരു നല്ലൊരു ക്രിക്കറ്റ് ബാറ്റ് ഉണ്ടെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചോ, ഒരൊറ്റ അടി വെച്ചു കൊടുത്തു തലയ്ക്ക്. അതൊരു റീസണബിൾ ഫോഴ്സ് ആണോ? അതൊരു റീസണബിൾ ഫോഴ്സ് അല്ല. അതായത് അയാൾ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തത് ഒന്ന് തുപ്പി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തെറി വിളിച്ചു. അതിനുള്ള റീസണബിൾ ഫോഴ്സിന് ചിലപ്പോൾ തെറി വിളിക്കുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തുപ്പുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു അടി കൊടുത്തു. അപ്പൊ അതായത് നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഫോഴ്സ് ആസ് എ പോലീസ് ഓഫീസർ, ദി ഫോഴ്സ് ഐ എം യൂസിങ് ഹാസ് ബി റീസണബിൾ ടു ദി ബിഹേവിയർ ഓഫ് ദി പേഴ്സൺ ഐ എം ഡീലിംഗ് വിത്ത്. ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറയുന്ന എക്സാമ്പിൾ, അതേ എക്സാമ്പിൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അപ്ലിക്കബിൾ ആണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ഉദാഹരണം പറയുന്നത്. ഞാനിപ്പോ ഒരാളെ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോണ സമയത്ത് ആളോട് ഞാൻ ആദ്യം പറയുന്നത് ടേൺ ഓൺ പുട്ട് യുവർ ഹാൻഡ്സ് ബിഹൈൻഡ് യുവർ ബാക്ക്. അപ്പൊ നമ്മള് കൈ തിരിഞ്ഞ് നിന്ന് കൈ ബാക്കിലിട്ടു. അപ്പൊ ഞാനൊരു ഹാൻഡ് കഫ് ചെയ്തു. ഒരു പ്രശ്നമില്ല, ഒരു ഫോഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചില്ല, ഒരു അടിയില്ല ഇടിയില്ല, പരിപാടി തീർന്നു. ഈസി ആയിട്ട് പരിപാടി തീർന്നു. ഞാൻ എന്നിട്ട് ഇതേ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ തന്നെ അവരോട് പറയാണ് ടേൺ ഓൺ പുട്ട് യുവർ ഹാൻഡ്സ് ബിഹൈൻഡ് യുവർ ബാക്ക് എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ആൾ പറഞ്ഞില്ല, ഞാൻ ഒരിക്കലും പോണില്ല, ഞാൻ ജയിലിലും പോണില്ല, നിനക്കൊന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പൊ എന്തായി? അപ്പൊ നമ്മളായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വെർബൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഡിസഗ്രിമെന്റ് ആയി. മനസ്സിലായ? അപ്പൊ അതെന്തായെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാല് ആള് നമ്മളായിട്ട് ഫിസിക്കലായിട്ട് ഒന്നുമില്ല, പക്ഷെ ആള് വെർബലായിട്ട് ഡിസഗ്രിമെന്റ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? അത് ശരി, ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ നീ അനുസരിക്കാൻ പോണില്ലേ? അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പോയി കൈ അങ്ങനെ പോയി ഒന്ന് പിടിക്കും. ഓക്കെ, നിന്നെ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോവാ. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ കൈ പോയി പിടിക്കുന്നത് എന്താന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാണ് ആളെങ്ങനെയാണ് റിയാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പോണെന്നുള്ളൊന്ന് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി പോണതാ. കൈ പിടിക്കുമ്പോ ആളിങ്ങനെ വലിച്ചു പോയിന്ന് ദേശിക്കുക, വലിച്ചു കൊതറി മാറി. അപ്പൊ എന്തായി? സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ചെയ്യുന്നതായി, ഇപ്പൊ കുറച്ചുകൂടി ഫിസിക്കലായി. അപ്പൊ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? ഒരു അടി കൊടുക്കും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഇടി കൊടുക്കും, ഒരു ചവിട്ട് കൊടുക്കും. ടു ഡു ദാറ്റ്. കാരണം എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആളുടെ ബിഹേവിയർ ചേഞ്ച് ആയി. ഇപ്പൊ ആദ്യം പറഞ്ഞ ആള് എല്ലാം അനുസരിച്ച് ഒരു പ്രശ്നമില്ല, അങ്ങനെ പോയി. രണ്ടാമത്തെ ആള് വെർബലി മാത്രം പറഞ്ഞു നിൽക്കുക, ഓക്കെ ഞാൻ പോവില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു, ഞാൻ പോയി കൈ കൊണ്ട് പിടിച്ചു. അപ്പൊ അയാള് വേറെ യാതൊരു അസിസ്റ്റൻസും ഇല്ല, ഞാൻ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത, ഒരു പ്രശ്നമില്ല, പോയി. മൂന്നാമത്തെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആകുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുമ്പോൾ ആള് കൈ കൊതറി മാറി, ചാടി, ഓടി. അപ്പൊ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ചേഞ്ച് ആയി. അപ്പൊ ആൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ഫോഴ്സ് മാറി. അപ്പൊ ആളൊരു അടി കൊടുക്കാനും ഇടി കൊടുക്കാനും ചവിട്ട് കൊടുക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു അവകാശം എനിക്കുണ്ട്. പിന്നത്തെ ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ വന്നു. ഞാൻ ഇതേ സെയിം എക്സാമ്പിൾ അപ്ലിക്കബിൾ ആണ് നിങ്ങളുടെ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ പറയാം. പിന്നത്തെ ഫോർത്ത് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ, ഞാൻ ഒരാളെ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ, ഇതേ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ തന്നെ അറസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുമെന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ ആൾ കൈയൊക്കെ എടുത്ത് ഒക്കെ നീ എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പോകാൻ നിനക്ക് എൻ്റെ കയ്യിൽ നിന്ന് കിട്ടും എന്നുള്ള പോലെ. അപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് എന്തായി, ആളെന്നെ ചലഞ്ച് ചെയ്യാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഫോഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിൽ ആളിപ്പോ എന്നെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉപദ്രവിക്കും. അപ്പൊ എന്തായി, ഞാനൊരു ലാത്തി പോലത്തെ ഒരു സാധനം ഉണ്ട്, അതെടുത്ത് ഒരു അടി കൊടുത്തു, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പെപ്പർ സ്പ്രേ എടുത്ത് സ്പ്രേ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്തു. അതിന് പകരം ആ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ എസ്കലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് അടുത്ത പ്രാവശ്യം ഞാൻ പോകുമ്പോൾ ആളുടെ കയ്യിൽ ഒരു കത്തിയാണ്, ഒരു ഗണ്ണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഗണ്ണെടുത്ത് ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുകയാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. കാരണം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ എനിക്ക് അയാൾ എന്നെ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന പോലെ എനിക്ക് വെയിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല, മനസ്സിലായോ? അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, the force you're going to use to protect yourself has to be reasonable under the circumstances. അപ്പൊ നമ്മളൊരാൾ ഇടിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, yeah, you can do the same thing, you can protect yourself, but the situation changes when that is inside your house. മനസ്സിലായോ? അപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ വീടിന്റെ ഉള്ളിലാണ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ, ഒരാൾ ബ്രേക്കിംഗ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ വീടിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ വന്ന സിറ്റുവേഷൻ, ഇറ്റ്സ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി ഡിഫറെന്റ്. യു ഹാവ് കിഡ്സ്, യു ഹാവ് ഫാമിലി, യു ഹാവ് സംതിങ് എൽസ്, യു could probably take a pressure cooker, hit him in the head or something like that. But if you end up dying, you have to justify the force you use that is reasonable in the circumstances. അപ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മൾ കോടതിയിൽ പോകുമ്പോഴാണ് അതൊരു ചലഞ്ച് ആവുന്നത്. നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിച്ച ഫോഴ്സ് റീസണബിൾ ആണോ സർക്കംസ്റ്റാൻസസിലാണെന്നുള്ളതാണ് അവിടുത്തെ ടെസ്റ്റ് കോടതിയിൽ. അപ്പോ ഇതിന് കറക്റ്റ് ഒരു ആൻസർ ഇല്ല, പക്ഷേ നമ്മള് you can protect yourself, you can defend yourself, but that has to be reasonable in the circumstances. നമ്മളിപ്പോ സോറി, ഞാൻ ഇതിന് കുറെ സമയമുണ്ട്, എന്നാലും just want to explain because this can happen to anybody. ഇപ്പോ നമ്മളൊരു ബാറിലാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചോ, ബാറിലുള്ള ആള് say he's very drunk, this guy is very drunk, he can't even walk, and he say, I'm going to kick your ass today, I'm going to smash your head on the concrete or something. But you know he's not able to walk, he's not capable of doing it. He's threatening you, but is he capable of doing it? So yes, he actually meet the criteria, he's violent, he's said he's going to do it, but then you need to look at it, a reasonable person looking at it, can he do it? Is he capable of doing it? You think he can stand up to do that? No. So that's why I said it has to be reasonable in the circumstances. Does that answers your question?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Do we have any victims of the scam want to talk about something? No other questions? Anyone else? Any other questions?
Jason, hi. This is Steven here. Thanks
Steven.
for taking out time and guiding us on this. My question was with regards to dash cam. So, for example, you said in case there's an accident, does it help if there is a dash cam footage or anything of that sort to kind of substantiate your point?
So what exactly the question? The dash cam.
For example, you're driving and somebody hit you from behind, or you went ahead and let's say you hit somebody, but it was because of the other person's fault. If you have a dash cam on your phone or in your car, does it help? I mean, does that?
Absolutely. That's an independent witness, right? Okay. Because when you don't have a witness as a person, no other motor vehicle stopped and exchange their information or anything. Now you're depending on a witness, which is a camera. So normal case scenario, the police is going to seize that from you. They will seize the card, the memory card. They're going to download the data, and they're going to give it to you back. But the ICBC and the police has a memorandum of understanding. So as soon as you file the report with ICBC would ask the report from police. So we provide everything to them. If we have taken the pictures, we have the videos, we have statements, any other corroborating evidence we have, everything will hand it over to the ICBC for the investigation. So if we collect it from you or you provide to the ICBC directly, both cases they're going to get it. But the only thing you wanted to make sure that the time, date, everything is accurate on the camera, because sometimes time is different, and the date is different. So you want to make sure that is all accurate. But whether you give it to police, you give it to ICBC, both cases, ICBC will get it eventually.
Perfect. Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
landlord security deposit returns ചെയ്യാത്ത കേസിൽ RTB ഹിയറിംഗ് കഴിഞ്ഞു. RTBയുടെ മോണിറ്ററി ഓർഡർ നമ്മളുടെ കയ്യിലുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ എന്നിട്ടും സ്റ്റിൽ ലാൻഡ് ലോഡ് പേ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല, റീഫണ്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. അന്നേരം സ്മോൾ ക്ലെയിം കോർട്ടിൽ നമ്മൾ ഫയൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന അല്ലാതെ വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഓൾട്ടർനേറ്റീവ് ഉണ്ടോ?
No, that's the only alternative. കാരണം വെച്ചാല് so it doesn't matter how you get the order, right? നമ്മളിപ്പോ ഏത് കോടതി കേസ് ആയാലും നമ്മളിപ്പോ for an example somebody damages some of your property or any kind of situation like that, കോടതി, അതായത് the court will never collect the money and give it to you. The court job or the police job is not collect any money. That's completely civil. That's completely civil between you and the other party. We will not get any kind of compensation in the court. For that, you have to go to the civil. You have to go to the small claims court, which is a very simple, easy process. Not much expense involved, a couple of $100 to file it. But then they were going to give you a court date. That court date has to go to the other person. You have to deliver to the landlord and say, you have a court date on this date. You have to come to the court. If you did not show up to the court, then the court is going to give you a judgment in your favor. He did not show up. The RTB already said they owe you the money. Now the money is yours. Now there's another process involved to get the money. You need to garnish his wages. You need to get in touch with his bank and provide the information to get his salary. There's a bunch of complicated process in place, but there's no easy process. You can give them the order, say, this is the order, you need to give the money. Otherwise, I'm going to go to the court again. And if they give it to you, they give it to you. Otherwise, you have to go through small claims.
Okay, which means ഇപ്പം സ്മോൾ ക്ലെയിം കോർട്ടിന്റെ ഓർഡർ പ്രകാരം ആള് പേ ചെയ്തില്ലെങ്കിലും നമുക്ക് ആ ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്, ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് സീൽ ചെയ്യാനല്ലേ?
No, no, the one you have right now is from the RTB, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now you have to go to the small claims court and you have to get an order. You get a small claims and you get an order does not mean that he's going to give you the money. Then you need to go to the bank he banks, or you need to go to the business he's working. Then you need to produce his court document, say part of his wages is going to come to you as a court order. You understand?
Okay, fine.
There is still process involved. It's not easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Okay, ഞാനൊരു ക്രിമിനോളജി സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. അപ്പം എനിക്ക് ഇവിടെ ലൈക്ക് ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് ആയിട്ട് വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് നമുക്ക് ഇതുപോലത്തെ ഒരു ലോ റിലേറ്റഡ് ഫീൽഡിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാം മിക്കയിടത്തും PR അത്യാവശ്യമാണല്ലോ. അതല്ലാതെ വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഈ ഒരു ലോ എൻഫോഴ്സ്മെന്റ് രീതിയിലുള്ള ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു ലൈക്ക് ഒരു ജോബ് സെക്ടറിൽ സജസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ? നമുക്ക് ഇത് ചെയ്താലും ലൈക്ക് നല്ലൊരു ഫീൽഡാണ് എന്നുള്ളത്.
So the criminology is a very interesting subject, but it limits your job opportunities within the law enforcement. So that is basically policing, corrections, Canadian border services, and immigration. So customs, police, and corrections, or maybe sheriff's department. These are the jobs you can really, the criminology come into play or give you credit for that course you have taken. But within the police department jobs, you have to be a permanent resident or Canadian citizen because the background check will go 5 to 10 years. So corrections probably very similar. You have to be a permanent resident. Are you a permanent resident?
No,
just a student?
Yeah, I'm just a student.
Student. So you're going to have some challenges to get jobs within, because this is the jobs you need. So the clearance for the police goes from secret, reliable, so security, basic security clearance, reliability clearance, confidential clearance, secret clearance, and top secret clearance. Depending on the job you're working within this industry, you have all kind of different type of clearance. So as a police officer, I have a top secret clearance because sometimes I work with the Prime Minister when he comes here, or different VIPs and all that. So you need to get a clearance. So that include checking your background back home, checking your employers, checking your friends, and all kind of different checks, criminal record checks. It's complicated checks involved, checking with your neighbors, and lots of checks has been conducted before you get a clearance. So getting a job within the law enforcement field as a student is going to be quite tough. Maybe a good thing for you to do is maybe get started with some kind of volunteer work within that particular area you're living, wherever you're living. For an example, you live in Delta, approach the Delta the police and say, I'm looking for some volunteer jobs. So you're going to start working, like you're not getting paid, but you start doing 3 hours, 4 hours volunteer work, doing some paperwork, answering the phone, doing something in that office. So when you do that, they have to do a background check on you. They have to clear your security clearance. That way you are inside the organization. Then when they have the opening comes up, they will consider you for the job. So almost all the jobs within the policing kind of thing, it goes mostly to the volunteers because they already putting in the time to do the volunteer work there. So when they have job, they give it to them first. In your particular situation, you are a student and you don't have a permanent residency. That make it difficult even if they offer you a volunteer position. But I think that may be where you can start.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you don't have any other questions, I'm just going to quickly go through the Biju. I'm guessing we got another 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if anyone else have any questions. Don't be shy. If it is not about the subject we discussed, you have any other general questions, ask me. If I don't have the answer, I can get you the answer. If you have any questions, another 2 minutes. Otherwise, I'm just going to cover quickly the traffic tickets.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, ഞാൻ ആനാണ്. എൻ്റെ പേര് ആൻ. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ വീട് മാറണമെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ ഏതൊക്കെ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ്സ് ആണ് ഇപ്പൊ കുറെ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ്സ് ഇപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങള് MSB പിന്നെ BC ID കാർഡ് അങ്ങനത്തെ കുറെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഞങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പൊ ജനുവരിയിൽ വന്നുള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ അതൊക്കെ ഈ വീടിന്റെ അഡ്രസ്സ് വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പൊ ഇൻ കേസ് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു ഇഷ്യൂ വന്ന് ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോ മാറണം എന്ന് ചിന്തിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ഞങ്ങളപ്പോ എവിടെയൊക്കെയാണ് അത് പോയി പറയേണ്ടത്, ഞങ്ങൾ ഇന്ന മാറി എന്നുള്ളത്?
നമ്മളിപ്പോ സാധാരണ രീതിയിൽ ഇപ്പൊ ഞാനിപ്പോ ഒരു 5-8 പ്രാവശ്യം വീട് മാറിയതാണ്. What you usually do is you just contact the Canada Post and you pay some money for 6 months or 1 year. They will send all your mails to the new address. Okay? So അതേപോലെ നമ്മൾ ഓൺലൈനിൽ പോയിട്ട് അത് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് നമുക്ക് 6 മാസത്തെയോ 1 വർഷത്തെയോ ഉള്ള ഇത് നമുക്ക് വാങ്ങാൻ പറ്റും. I think it's $75 or something. നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാ മെയിലും അവർ നമ്മൾ പുതിയ അഡ്രസ്സിലേക്ക് അയക്കും. അതുപോലെ ഈ പഴയ അഡ്രസ്സുള്ള എല്ലാവരും അവര് തന്നെ അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും പുതിയ അഡ്രസ്സ്. Or you can manually do it. I mean, lots of these places, like you can just go online and change it. But wherever you have, because you don't want to leave any of your mails and everything with the old landlords, old tenants. You don't know how they're going to misuse it. Maybe you'll get a GST check or your credit card goes in there, MSP card go in there. So you don't want to leave any of these things with someone else. So you want to change everything into your name. Easy method is what I said with Canada Post. They will change everything for you. You just have to pay the fee. All the mails you will get it. You won't miss anything. Or you have to go individually with every single the card provider and change it yourself. But when you come to driver's license, you have to change it within 14 days. That's the law. You have to put the new address on the driver's license within 14 days.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else wanted to share any scam stories? Anybody got any scam text or anything like that? All right. So if you don't have any questions, that's okay. You can still forward that to Biju or Robin. You want to say something?
Hello, sir. എൻ്റെ റോബിൻ ആണ്. എൻ്റെ ഡ്രൈവിംഗ് ലൈസൻസ് എക്സ്പയർ ആവുന്നത് മാർച്ച് 2025 and my work permit is also going to expire on the same month, and ഞാൻ renew and apply ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, but it will take my minimum 5 months. So ആ period after March, can I drive with that expired license, or should I
you cannot drive with expired license, no. So if you get caught driving without expired license, you're going to get $276 ticket and your car will be towed.
Okay, so renewed permit kittunna vare I can't drive in that period, right?
You know what? I really don't know how that work between the so did you check with ICBC? Did they say that they cannot renew your driver's license without the work permit?
I didn't check. I will check with the ICBC.
You check with ICBC. I don't think. I think it's echoes coming from your microphone, but I don't think they will ask for your work permit to renew your driver's license. I don't think this is a standard practice, but I think you just check with them because you can show the documents to say that you applied for it, you're waiting for the result. So in the meantime, you need to work, so you need the driver's license renewed. So I don't think that's a criteria, but I can 100% sure it's an administrative ICBC process.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hi there. I can actually help with that. I work with
Okay.
ICBC. So you can in fact renew your license, but we give a temporary license for 90 days until your this work permit get extended. So each time you have to come and then show us the expired work permit plus the application for extension. Then you're good to go.
Okay, thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you for that information. I learned something new.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Agil.
Sir, എൻ്റെ പേര് അഖില. എനിക്കൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ഉണ്ട്. ആദ്യം ചോദിച്ചൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യന്റെ കണ്ടിന്യൂഷൻ ആണ്. ഒരു ഹിറ്റ് ആൻഡ് റൺ കേസ് ഇതുപോലെ ഒരു വണ്ടി ബാക്കിൽ വന്നിട്ട് ഹിറ്റ് ചെയ്താണ് എന്റെ ഫ്രണ്ടിന് സംഭവിച്ചതാ. പക്ഷെ ആൾക്ക് ഡാഷ് ക്യാമും ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ എന്താ പ്രശ്നം എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഡാഷ് ക്യാമിലെ വിഷ്വൽസില് ഡേറ്റ് അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. പഴയ വേറെ ഡേറ്റ് ആണ് ഉള്ളത്. ആ വീഡിയോ നമുക്ക് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
I mean, I guess as long as you can explain to them, because you got the license plate of the other vehicle. Oh, it's a hit and run. Okay, there's no other. Yeah. But you might have a plate of the other car, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have.
So what usually ICBC does, maybe the person who was answering earlier, maybe she can add on to that. Usually what ICBC does is, so you make a complaint, says a hit and run, and this vehicle is involved in that incident. There is no independent witness, but the ICBC is going to send them a mail, or ICBC is going to contact them, say, hey, your vehicle was reported as involved in this incident. Please bring your vehicle for an inspection, right? So ICBC, the people working with ICBC, the collusion and the settlement, the claim settlement division, there's lots of people are retired police officers with experience, reconstructing the scene, reconstructing the accident. They can look at the cars and say, okay, this matches, because when the accident happens, the paint transfers from one car to the other car, the paint transfers. So you have red car, he has green car. Now both the cars has both the paint, and the impact, it created certain marks on the cars. So they can ask the other cars to bring it in, inspect that car, and matches. But you have a video that is a perfect. Do you have any other independent witness? No, right? Because
no, it's
okay.
It was
So yeah, you have a date which is not accurate, but you still have a camera with the license plate. You provide that to ICBC, and they will follow up the other driver, and they will process the claim accordingly. I don't know which way it's going to go, but that's how they usually do.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
സാർ, നമ്മൾ ടെനൻസി നമ്മൾ വീട് മാറിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വിത്തിൻ 15 days ഡ്രൈവിംഗ് ലൈസൻസിൽ അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ.
Right.
So in that case, we need to prove like our current residence details, like BCID നമ്മൾ അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരുമോ?
No. You just tell the ICBC. You can do it online. You can go to ICBC website. You can update your address, and they will send you a sticker. You put that on your driver's license. That's the end of it.
Okay.
Because you change your driver's license address, that does not mean that it changes the address on your vehicle. The vehicle will still stay. Your car will be with the old address because the insurance is printed for 1 year. So it's not going to change there. It's a two different system. So one is the motor vehicle branch. One is the insurance corporation. So insurance corporation will look after the insurance. Then the motor vehicle branch will look after the driver's license portion. So two different things. So you change it one place does not mean the other place is changed. So if you want to change the driver's license address, you can do it online and get a sticker. Or you can go to the ICBC, they change it and give you a sticker immediately, you can put it on. Police officer pull you over after 14 days and the driver's license address is not changed, you could get a ticket for fail to change the address.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I will quickly jump into the traffic ticket. Then we're going to talk about drinking and driving. We're going to talk that next time. We're going to talk about the career in RCMP, because we're looking for lots of people, and break and enter. Then one of the biggest subjects I like to talk about, the domestic violence. So in short, last 16 years I've been a police officer. I probably came across maybe a dozen of our community members. I mean, we don't usually commit any serious crime. We're pretty good. Right? We are law-abiding citizens most of the time. So where we come across the Malayalis as when I come across Malayalis in some kind of trouble, one is domestic violence. No matter what part of the world you're coming from, there's going to be argument between two parties, husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, that will escalate into pushing and pulling and punching or throwing stuff. That happens, doesn't matter what part of the world you came from. So that is one occasion. I mean, I think that is the occasion I had to deal with our Malayali community in the last 16 years, probably over a dozen or 2 dozen times. Our members involved in the domestic violence situation were not knowing what's the law. Okay. The other situation I came across our community members, that is in driving related, getting a ticket or drinking and driving. Okay, because we are from Kerala, we like to drink, you know. So then drinking and driving kind of thing. So that is the second situation I came across our Malayali community in my kind of job. And the third situation, very rare, but there's some sexual assault type of situation. Our members got involved, community members got involved, knowingly, unknowingly, touching some people without permission, that kind of thing. But we don't have time to discuss any of those today. So we're going to cover the break and enter part, and drinking and driving law, and the domestic violence, and any other subject you guys to discuss. We could discuss that on another occasion. Quickly, I'm going to discuss about the tickets. So if you're going to drive a car, it's possible you're going to pulled over. If you get pulled over, you, like I discussed earlier, you know what to do. You see fire, police or ambulance, light and siren behind you, pull over to your right, immediately stop. If the police officer coming for you, they're going to come to you, they're going to write you a ticket, talk to you. If they're not coming for you, they're going to pass you and they're going to go. Then you can go. Okay? So you got pulled over for whatever the reason. Okay? As a police officer, when I'm pulling over, I already know why I'm pulling over, but you don't know why you got pulled over. Sometimes you know, maybe you're speeding, maybe you're on the cell phone. Sometimes you don't even know because you never checked your speedometer. You heard the light and siren, you pressed the brake, then you looked at the speedometer. Oh, it looks 50. But before you press the brake, it was 90. You don't realize that because you hear the siren. First thing you do is apply the brake, then you look at it. So you don't know the reason why you got pulled over. So as a police officer, upon detention, so when I stopped your car, you've been detained. That means you're not free to go. I stopped you. You're not free to go until I say you can go. As a police officer, I stop somebody, I detain somebody. It is your right to know why you got stopped or pulled over. So when you got pulled over, the police officer is going to come and tell you, I stop you because you're on the phone. I stop you because you are speeding. I stop you because you changed the line without signal. You run the red light. You're not wearing a seatbelt. Whatever the case is, they're going to come and tell you the reason. But we could be a little tricky as a police officer because sometimes we wanted to hear that from you, so I can use that against you. So remember, anything you say that can be used as an evidence. You've probably seen that many times in the English movies. When you watch the English movies, you hear that all the time. Anything you say can be used in the court of law. So anything you're going to say, it'll be used as an evidence. So as a police officer, I'm come to you and say, hey, do you know why I stop you? So you already know you were speeding. So you're like, yeah, I guess I was going a little fast. Okay, how fast you think you were going? I think I was going probably like 65, but the speed limit is 50, right? So you are saying, I wasn't going that fast. I was going a little fast. By saying that, you already admitted to the officer you were speeding. It doesn't matter you going at 51, 55, 60, doesn't matter. You already admitted to the officer you were speeding. Some of the police car has the camera, so they record your audio and video. They record everything you're saying, and that will be taken to the court. When it goes to the court, and I went and asked him, you know, the reason why I stopped you, he said, I was speeding. Or For me personally, my favorite, when I stop somebody using the cell phone, I'll go and ask them, do you know it's illegal to use the phone? So they will say, yes, sir. I say, okay, is that an emergency call? Yeah, I was just calling my kid's school because she's crying, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now you already admitted to me in words that you were using the phone while you're driving. I'm going to use that as an evidence. That evidence is very strong when I go to the court, because once you get a ticket, you have two choices. You can pay within 30 days, or you can dispute within 30 days. But no matter what you're going to do, you have to do that within 30 days. In the back of the ticket, it shows, explain to you what you can do and how you can do it. Dispute the ticket or pay the ticket. Both cases, you have to do within 30 days. Okay. If you dispute the case, excuse me, when you're disputing the case, there's two choices. You can dispute the fine amount, or you can dispute the offense itself. So if you're disputing the fine amount, for an example, if you get a ticket for driving without insurance, it's $586. You can dispute the fine amount, go to the court and ask the court, it's too much money for me, I don't have a job, I'm working part-time, can you reduce the fine? Court will say $100, you're free to go. So that is disputing the fine amount. Then you're disputing the offense itself. So you're telling the court that I did not commit the offense. I had the insurance. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't talking on the phone. Disputing the fine and disputing the offense. Two things you wanted to understand. When you're disputing it, you can check either or. You can dispute the fine, or you can dispute the offense. What happens? You go to the court. When you go to the court, the officer will be there, most likely. If he doesn't show up, you won the case. You go home. No fine, nothing happened, you're free to go. If the officer show up, he's going to talk to you before you go inside the court. He wants to know what's the reason you're there, what's your plans, you want the fine reduction, or you are disputing the offense itself. So what is your plan, he wants to know, so he can tell the judge when you go in. Because if you are pleading guilty, for an example, you say, hey, I did that, I committed the offense, I was speeding, can I get a fine reduction? So that means you're pleading guilty. So you're going to say, I'm going to plead guilty to the charges because I was speeding. I'm so sorry, can I get a little fine reduction? Or you're going to say, no, you're mistaken, I wasn't speeding, maybe your radar gun or your laser or whatever the method you use to detect my speed is wrong. I'm going to dispute this, the whole thing. So then you had to go to the judge and say, I'm not pleading guilty, your worship. In the traffic court, you call the judge as your worship. Okay. Provincial court, you're going to call as your honor. Okay. Then if you're going to go to the Supreme Court, as your lordship. So it changes depending on their position. So the people who are sitting in the traffic court, they are called justice of the peace. They are not the judges, they are justice of the peace. Provincial court is judges. So justice of the peace is called your worship. Your worship, I'm not pleading guilty. So judge will say, stay on this side, sir. We're going to deal with everybody pleading guilty. People pleading guilty, they come forward. Okay, sir, are you pleading guilty? Okay, how much is the fine? 200. Okay, I'm going to make it 150, give you 3 months to pay. Okay, thank you, you're gone. Done. Okay, next is going to be trial. Sir, you're not pleading guilty? Okay, come forward. Okay, police officer is going to say his story. You're going to say your story. You can ask the questions. Police officer can ask you the question. Judge will decide at the end what happens. Okay, so when you get the ticket, what you want to most worry about is the points. Some offenses comes with the points. The other offense does not come with the point. So I had a little bit of cold, so that's why I'm coughing. So when you get a ticket, there's a column, it says MVA, Motor Vehicle Act. Another column, it says MVAR, so Motor Vehicle Act regulations. Anything that is written under regulations, which is the loud muffler, broken windshield, burned out headlight, this is all written under the regulation. It is a problem with the vehicle. It's not a moving offense. It's not an offense committed while the vehicle is moving. It's a problem with the vehicle, which is Motor Vehicle Act regulations. Anything written under the regulation has no points. Okay, so I'll tell you how the points affect you later. So you wanted to be more careful about the points, because the points, when it hit 4 points, you will be paying $250 extra on your insurance premium. When you go to 5 points, it'll be $288. 6 points will $367. Then each point will be $508, and it will keep going up until $25,000. So you get a speeding ticket, you get 3 points. Then next week you got a cell phone ticket. Now you have 7 points. Now you're paying $508 on your insurance premium extra because you consider as a high risk driver. Okay, so you don't want it to get that point. And there is some particular offenses you can get 10 points straight. So one is excessive speed, you get 6 points. So your speed on the street is 50, you're going at 90, which is 40 kilometers over the speed limit. You get a ticket, your car will be gone for a week, and you will get a ticket that will give you automatically 6 points. Okay, you are involved in an accident, and if you get a ticket for driving without due care and attention, comes with 6 points. If your driver's license suspended on the roadside for drinking or something, it comes with a 10 points. Your insurance premium will go up by like $1,000, and your license will be suspended. So when you get a ticket, you want it to be careful, because if you add up the points, can you please mute that microphone? So if you get the ticket, multiple ticket, and your points started accumulating, it will eventually, you end up losing your driver's license. They will suspend your license, and it will take several months to get it back. So when you go to the court, plead guilty or not plead guilty. When you plead guilty, that means you automatically get the point, because you got a speeding ticket, you went to the court, you got the highest speeding ticket you can get is $368. One below that is $196. One below that is $138. So you got charged with the $368. You go to the court, talk to the officer. He said, okay, I'm going to give you a little break. I'm going to make it $138. You like it, you take that deal. You got $200 discount on your ticket. Comes with 3 points right away. But it is excessive speed, could be 6 points. So you're saving some points, but you will still have a point. So you wanted to discuss that option with the officer, but be nice when you ask him for something. Don't try to argue. Okay, this is a couple of, I'm not saying it's an option, but this is what people has done it in the past. You're going to ask the officer, can you please change this to a registered owner's name? So that means the ticket will not show up on your name. It is not going to be on your driver's license. It will just say this ticket is issued to this car. Does not say who that person was driving. That way, your driving history stay clean. It will be just on your license plate. I'm not saying every single officer will do that for you. I'm not saying this is an option for you, but this is something some people has asked in the past, and depending on the situation, I have done it. That situation is somebody taking responsibility, somebody has a clean driving history, somebody is apologizing for their mistakes. Not somebody argue with you on the roadside, or somebody come to the court and say, no, I didn't do it, no. So that's not the people we give a break to. We give the break to the people who say that, yes, I was got a little distracted, I was going a little faster, can you please do that, because this can affect my driver's license. First time offense, or some kind of excuse you're going to give it to them, some kind of story you're going to tell them. They kind enough, they might just change it to a registered owner. But the another thing you have to remember, registered owner has to be you. So if you're driving your company car, if you're driving your wife's car, your son's car, they cannot change it. If you are the one driving and it's your car, you could ask, not your right, you can ask to change it. If they change it, you're lucky, and it's not in your name, it will give you a good break on that one. Otherwise, you're going to accumulate the points. You might end up losing your license. Okay, so that is one option. So if you plead guilty, as you go there, reduce the fine, you plead guilty, points added to your driver's license, you're free to go. You're going to go for a trial. Like I said, the police officer most likely will have the notes. they will have the sometimes video recording. They'll have the audio recording. Everything you said during the traffic stop is recorded. Not everybody, some of them. They will play that in the court. So don't go and try to change your story there because they already written that down, or maybe they have audio video recording. They're going to produce that in the court and it look like you are lying. Okay. So one thing you can do, this is going to be the last, we are 9 o'clock, 2 hours. It's going to be the last sentence. One thing you can do way before you have a court date, you look at your ticket. On the bottom of the ticket, it will say where this officer work, which detachment, because police officers moving around. You get a ticket on Highway 99, but he might be working in Delta, it might be Richmond, he'll be New West, Surrey, wherever. Officers going on the way, they stop, somebody wrote a ticket. You can assume that they work in this detachment. But if you look at the car, it will say RI means Richmond, SU says Surrey, DE says Delta, BU says Burnaby. So you can look at the police car, but most likely it's going to be in behind you, so you might not see it. It will say where this car is from, but on the ticket it will show badge number, detachment they work, and the detachment address. Okay, way before your court, way before, you need to write, make a photocopy of the ticket you got. You write to the officer, say, can you provide me with all the evidence you have so I can take a look at the evidence and make a decision what I have to do. So the officer wrote a note. I pulled him over at number 5 in Steveston. He was on the fast lane. I turned on my radar. I tested my radar. He was going at 90 kilometers an hour. Posted speed limit is 50 kilometers. And I estimated he was going at 85. Bunch of notes he has written. That is a good note. But there might be a situation, the police officers write ticket one after another, one after another, one after another. They might write like 10, 15 tickets. Now they're going to write a note at the end. Now everything got mixed up. Who did I stop? What speed was he going? Was he number 5? Is he number 4? That could happen as well. When that happens, that's when they don't have the notes. That's when you win. So whatever the situation is, ask for the notes. So you can take a look. If you go to the court, you had a conversation with the officer. Officer said, yeah, I will reduce the fine. You plead guilty, but you didn't even look at the note. You don't even know if he has a note. So did he make a note? Did he make the correct note? Did he write the location correct, time right, license plate correct? You need to take a look at the notes. Then only you can say he has a notes. That notes is correct. I better plead guilty. Or he doesn't have a note, so I'm not pleading guilty. So you can make a decision based on the information provided to you. That is your right, and you can request for it in writing. You can request that in the court, but if it is in the court, you don't have much time to make a decision. You only got a few minutes, but if you request that way in advance, you can take a look, analyze, and compare, and talk to a few people. Then you can make a proper decision. So if you get a ticket, make those 2 choices. Ask court. This is called disclosure request. Write to the officer, get the disclosure request, look at what is written down, and try to remember, is it what exactly happened? You can also make the note. As soon as that happens, you make your own notes. Because when you go to the court, I've been in the trial many times questioning people. When you go to the court, I'm saying, Your Worship, can I refer to my note? Judge is going to ask, is that taken at the time of the incident or immediately after? I say, yeah, immediately after. Go ahead, take a look at the note. I'm saying, yeah, on this day, this time I was going on number 5 road. I noticed his vehicle going at a high rate of speed. I estimated he was going at 85. I turned on my laser. It clocked the speed of 89. I pulled over. Everything is written down. I'm looking at my note. But you go up there on the stand, you say, no, I wasn't going at 85. Yeah, the sign says 60, and I'm going to ask you, sir, can I take a look at your notes? I don't have any notes. So you're telling me that 115 months ago, Monday morning, I pulled you over, and you remember exactly the speed you were traveling, and the traffic, and the speed sign, and all the other information coming from your memory? Like, you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say? You wanted to make a notes if you can. If you get a ticket, you make your own note the same day, where it happened, what it happened, what lane you were traveling, what speed you were traveling, all the information you can. When you go to the court, if you get challenged, you can go into there, say, I wrote this note same day, And this is what exactly happened, because we make mistakes as a police officer. We write the wrong date, wrong time, wrong location, wrong offenses. You have a note, then you have a chance of winning it if the officer is wrong. So that is the last piece. We'll take another 5 minutes of questions regarding just about these tickets. If you have anybody have any questions regarding this, and we'll try to end it in 5 minutes.
Hi, sir. My name is Sham. It was really nice. You help out a lot of questions. I have a lot of instances where I was pulled over for speeding the same way. In Nanaimo, I was clocking a speed of 161 or something, and he stopped me and he said the same fine, like the mid one which you said, not the highest one, the mid one. He said,
96. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. So I said, I'm a student here. I will not be able to afford so much. He was really nice to me. And he said, the maximum I can do. In fact, I have to tow your car now. It's just that you have to step down and I will tow the car. But I had my child in the car. So he said, the max I can do is the 138.
Yeah.
I can't do more. I said, okay, at least I saved something.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I just paid the fine. I had another instance where a parking officer stopped me. I was about to go to a Tim Hortons and grab a coffee. He clicked a photo of my vehicle and he says it is not a stop zone.
Yeah.
But I remember it was like a half here and a half there. I said, I'm sorry, I've just like 1 minute. I just went and run away and came back. So he didn't do anything. I don't know what he did. This happened on November 20th. This January first week, I got a $60 ticket. So I don't know if this is possible. Like when the offense was on November 20th, the date was like the location was not right, but I didn't wait for the dispute and all. I just paid off the ticket. But can we dispute all these things as well?
Yeah, so this is like I discussed before. The parking is the bylaw offense, which is enforced by the city. City has their own enforcing team. They enforce only the traffic related to city. Parking closer to the curb, parking by the fire hydrant, parking by the driveway, parking like, you probably don't know, but when you're parking the car by the curb, you have a certain distance. You cannot park that very closer to the curb. So some of these offenses, it's written by the city enforcement, not the police officer. We can write as well, but we do the other ones, the provincial acts. We rarely write the city ones because they have their own staff. So when city is writing those type of ticket, it is not a moving offense. Moving offense is you running a red light, you're not wearing a seat belt. That is all moving offense. The vehicle is moving while it's happening. This is not a moving offense. It's all everything to the parking. So any of this type of offenses, you don't need a person-to-person contact. You can write a ticket, keep it on your car, you pay it. They can mail you the ticket because they don't need to know who the driver is. It doesn't matter who the driver is. Owner of the vehicle is responsible for that. So if you already paid, it's already done and over with. But this type of city offenses, they usually send you the picture with it. That is their evidence. They take the picture because they never had a contact with the driver. They take a picture, send it to you as an evidence. That is really good evidence. So if you already paid, but those ticket does not come with a point. So you don't need to worry about any points with the traffic ticket on the parking, but the speeding ticket comes with a point, 3 points.
Yeah. So one more question to add on this. So when you say there's a 3 point to it, and when is that getting waived off? Like I have heard that last time when I was in Australia, one of my friend got the ticket, and he was saying that after two or 3 years, this points get reduced. Like it will come back to you. So
Yeah.
does it happen with here as well?
So it's usually 3 years. So 3 years is calculated, not January to December kind of thing. So for an example, your birthday is February 1st. So they're going to calculate the 1 year mark from January 1st, 1 year backwards. Okay. So January 1st, 2024 to January 1st, 2025, your birthday is in February. So 1 month behind your birthday, backwards 1 year. Within that 1 year, so within that 3-year period, this will be effective, but after that it goes away. But for an example, if you got a driving prohibition or something like that, so we need to submit to the court that is a driving prohibition. We can get your driving history ever since you started driving here for last 10, 15, 20 years of tickets you got. Doesn't matter how many, we can get all the history. But for the purpose of the risk premium or point calculation for suspension, things like that, goes back 3 years. Unless it is a driving prohibition, it stays 5 years.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. And if you are a visitor, you can drive for 6 months with your license from the other country, if it is a compatible driver's license. But if you are a permanent resident, you can drive only for 3 months with that license. Just throwing that out there. Any other questions? We are almost at the end. Well, I guess there is no more questions. I really appreciate your time you spending with me, and I'm able to, I hope you guys learned something. You guys try to stay safe and try not to get into any kind of scams, because that is going around. New ones come out every day. Don't click on any links, and make sure that, drive safely, obey the laws. And I can tell you what I can help you, what I cannot help you. So I will just throw this out there. If you get a traffic ticket, I cannot cancel that for you. If you get arrested for drinking and driving or any kind of domestic violence, I cannot do anything for you, because I cannot call the detachment and ask them to release you or anything. But if you get a traffic ticket, maybe you can call me. I can tell you what to do to dispute, what you can ask the other officer to give it to you, what can happen in the court, what kind of methods you can use to win the case. Or if you get into some kind of criminal charges, I can tell you what can happen next, what is going to be the process, and what has done in the past, and what could be the outcome, what kind of sentence you're going to get. From my experience dealing with several files, I can tell you how this is going to end up at the end. But only thing I cannot do for you is to get somebody off of charges, or tell you how to get off of drinking and driving charges or something like that. I hope that is clear. And once again, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time, you guys spending with me. And if you have any other questions in the past, send it to Biju or any of the other organization, association you guys associated to, and send me the questions, and I will try to answer. Or we'll set up another one in next couple of months, and we'll answer a lot more questions. Take care, everybody. Happy Republic Day, and stay safe.
I'm taking 2 minutes time.
Okay.
2 minutes time. Thanks to Jason sir for sharing with us this informative session. I hope so all doubts and queries are clear. Thank you all who is participated. Stay tuned for the next session. Have a good night to all. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.